it's Sandra. Welcome to another episode of Asexualise, my asexual life. This is a place to be education about asexuality, all things asexual, and I share my own asexual life journey in order to help you in yours. If you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button below right here, right now. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live right now, post a new video. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you find the content useful, helpful, insightful in any way, shape or form, or you just want to give this channel some like love. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. As always, we're going to be discussing a topic related to asexuality, but in this case we're going to be discussing, can multicultural relationships work? Do multicultural relationships work? But first of all, if you didn't know who I am Sandra Bellamy, author of this awesome book, Asexual Perspectives, 47 Asexual Stories, Love, Life and Sex, a celebration of asexual diversity. I'm also the founder of Asexualise.com and the founder of Asexualise Academy. So welcome to tonight's episode. I know it's later than I usually do, but I had some work to do, so here I am. So can multicultural relationships work? What's my experience? What do I know about other people? And how would that go asexual wise? So as you know, if you follow me on this channel, I do prefer younger foreign guys to being in a relationship with British guy, even though I'm in the UK. So evidently I'm going to probably end up with someone who's very different to my own culture. Having said that, even within your own country, you can have different types of culture. So for example, the southwest of the UK, where I live in, has got kind of different mannerisms, different things they say, different ways of doing things than people who live up north. For example, I used to live up north when I was a baby. I was born up north. So people who are northern tend to speak very differently to people that are southern, for example, and they might lead a very different way of life. So just because someone lives in the same country doesn't mean to say they're not multicultural in of themselves, because culture is all about kind of like the way you're brought up, your mannerisms, the way you live your life, family, the way your family interacts and lives their life, the way your ancestors are brought up, the way your family is, over generations. All that's to do with culture. Oh, hiya. And hi Tree. And so all that's to do with different cultures. So basically, you can have different cultures within the same country. So I know that might sound weird, you probably haven't thought about it before, but people, like I said, do have very different kind of ways of doing things in the south of the UK to what they do in northern UK, and I'm sure it's the same in many other countries around the world. So as you know, I prefer younger foreign guys and foreign guys in general to being with British, and therefore the culture in that sense can be very different to my own. However, I'm very different to my own culture, and what do I mean by that? So I've been brought up to not have sex before marriage, for example. I've been brought up to in a traditional family role where my mum's a housewife and my dad goes out to work, which is very opposite to how I am. And I've been brought up, with I said, like, kind of very traditionally, like the woman's in the home cooking and cleaning, the man goes out to work, and no sex before marriage, all that type of thing, right? And my parents are a lot more conservative. They're not, they're introverted. I'm an extrovert. They like the country, I like the city. So even within my own family, I'm very different to my culture. I don't want marriage, for example. As you know, I have had sex despite the fact I'm asexual. I've had sex in the past because I thought I had to as part of a normal relationship, and I'm pleased to say I don't have that anymore. And so it can be very different, to the way you are to your family. And you have to at some point understand that you are an individual and that you have to live your own life. I love public displays of affection so much, it's essential to me in a relationship, whereas my parents don't usually do that type of thing. So that is the case for quite a lot of cultures as well in other countries. A lot of them don't tend to do the public displays of affection thing for religious reasons or cultural reasons. You know, they don't want to shock their family by kissing in front of their family and stuff like this. And this is the way it is. But when you're actually attracted to someone or some people from different cultures, it can be very difficult. So can it actually work? So I know some people who do make it work. For example, I know a blogger who did live in the UK, and his wife, he moved over to the Philippines and got married. So his wife is Filipino. Now, he was explaining to me that in the Filipino culture, with the family, they believe, oh, you know, their daughter should get a rich man from the UK, you know, and kind of it the, you know, my blogger friend told me that that's what was in her culture basically, and family traditions that always taught over there. Or you should get someone from the UK because they can keep your money, you know, marry a rich man like that. But he was explaining that his wife is very different. Although she brought up in that way, she likes to split the bill equally, for example, in restaurants, and, you know, make sure that he's not paying for everything. Kind of like proving to him and herself that, you know, just because her family believe that and that's what she should do is not necessarily the right thing to do. And so she doesn't treat him that way. And so he absolutely adores being with her. He's really happy. I've never seen him any happier than how he is with her. And they do come back and visit the UK sometimes too. So, you know, that clearly is very different. The UK, born in the UK and then born in the Philippines. And obviously, you know, at one point, one person's usually got to move to the other person's country. So you have to understand, in a multicultural relationship, a lot of the time one moves to the other. However, you might meet in a neutral country. So there might be two people from very different backgrounds, for example, meeting in the UK or the USA or Canada. You're both multicultural people. You're both from completely different countries, for example, and maybe ethnicities as well. But, you know, you actually are, you know, in that country together. So you're kind of on neutral territory, which I always think is quite a good thing. You know, I think it's quite scary for one person to move to the other person's country. But I think if they've, you know, traveled there before, really like the country, maybe they've got friends over there, then it's a lot easier for them to move and to do that, right? I think it's very difficult if you're moving and you don't know anyone there, you're completely starting a whole new life and got a new relationship at the same time. I think that's very, very difficult. I also know someone who I was at college with, and he literally moved countries and got married as well. And as far as I know, that was basically the end of that. He got married for life. So, but I haven't seen him since college, so I don't know how that was. And then I have a blogging friend who is in his 70s, and his wife is in her 40s. And she lives in, I think it's Austria. And he moved from Spain to go out there and get married to her. So obviously, not only is the culture hugely different, there's a vast difference in age. And he is actually older than her dad, but he gets on well with her dad. So not only have you got cultural difference, country difference, you've also got age difference. So it just proves to show you that age knows no bounds when it comes to love. He is much older than her, but he's in love with her, you know, and they live together with their two cats. And like I said, he gets on really well with her dad, even though he's older than her dad. So, you know, this is how it can work, you know, and he is a British citizen originally, and he had been married before, so it's very difficult for him to get married again, but he managed to do it. He had to get all this paperwork from the UK and everything, so he managed to do it. So you have to understand that, you know, these things are going to probably challenge you a lot more. Like if you are going to go for a multicultural relationship, these things are going to challenge you a lot more. You're going to have a lot of patience, a lot of understanding, a lot of empathy, a lot of sympathy to make something like that work. You know, you're going to have to understand that you're not always going to be right, that sometimes there is no right. There's just two different ways of doing things. So, you know, it requires a lot of willpower. I mean, there's challenges even within your own culture and country, let alone having challenges with another person from a completely different culture. but it can also make it exciting and interesting at the same time. So I personally have been in relationships in the past with 3 people from different countries, all in the UK they were though. One was from Afghanistan, one guy was Persian, I don't know which country he was from, and the other guy was Latino. So all from different countries. And did it work out? No, it didn't work out with any of them. Predominantly because they all wanted sex with me. So, not only for me have I got a multicultural obstacle to overcome. For me, obviously, I'm an asexual person. If you didn't know what that is, asexual is a sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction. That doesn't mean to say that some asexuals don't partake in sex. Some do, some are repulsed by it and don't, right? So sexual behavior is not the same as sexual attraction, which is often confused. Arousal is not the same as sexual attraction, neither is sexual desire the same as sexual attraction. Okay, so asexuality is a sexual orientation that's lack of sexual attraction. So I never look at a guy and want sex with him. And these 3 different guys, all of them were very highly sex driven. And that's really the crux of the matter of why it didn't work out. The first guy I was with, I didn't realize that he actually really wanted sex with me. And then his friend, after we split up, his friend got with me. And then basically I didn't realize that he had been the previous guy's conquest to have sex with me. So that's why he wanted it with me, basically. It was very horrible to find that out. And then the other guy I've told you about before was a guy I got bored with after 3 weeks of being with him and having sex. I was just so bored out my brain. I was just like, is this it? I like your cooking, but I don't like the sex. I just would rather go and eat his cooking. But I was like, I think I must have split up with him and got back together with him, because I remember having this conversation in the city going, why do you want sex? And he's going, because I like. And you have to understand that some foreign guys, they can speak very good English when they want something. But there's times when they'll pretend they don't speak good English or say they don't speak good English. But when it comes to sex, they pretty much can speak very good English about the I want sex bit, So yeah, really, that's why it didn't work out. So obviously, if I am with a guy from another culture, really, I need one who is definitely asexual. I've dated foreign guys as well, as you know. I had one date with a guy who was again from a different culture, but he wasn't right for me. Again, he was highly sex driven, and he didn't want his sister even to know about me. So, because my mum wants me to get married to someone from my own culture. And I'm like, yeah, I don't want to be hidden, do you know what I mean? That isn't right. So, and I dated someone from a guy who didn't even know what country he was from originally, because he was adopted. That was 2 months, but that guy was a psycho, as I've mentioned before on this channel, a real life one. So that was the end of him. And I'm not painting a very good picture here, am I? But I'm saying that other people that do make it work, right? So I'll give you a family example of how it can work, right? My cousin, her boyfriend is from Tunisia, right? She lives in the UK with her boyfriend, although I think her boyfriend currently is back in Tunisia and he couldn't get back to the UK because of the lockdown situation. But she has been with him for years, and they live together, and they are not married, and they don't have children. And she goes out to Tunisia with him to meet his family. So see how sometimes, even though people's culture are usually marriage and kids and housewife, it doesn't always necessarily mean the individual person is going to expect that and want it and need it. So my cousin met him at her work. They were both managers at the time. And, she's just been with him for years, and she's had much, much better respect from him than she ever did with her British exes, actually. And he is much younger. He's about 11 years younger than her. So she is the older woman, but she's quite young for her age. And, and he is from Tunisia. and they do live together, like I said, without marriage and without kids. So it just goes to prove and show you. And she goes out to work as well. She works full time. So obviously with the lockdown situation, it's a bit different at the moment. But usually she works full time. So yeah, it's really interesting. It can work, and they have made it work for absolutely years. They're very happy together, and it's the best relationship he's ever had. So, and there's, like I said, about 11 years difference between them. So it just goes to show you that an older girl with a younger guy can work from two completely different cultures without sex. Well, I won't say without sex, because they're not asexual. They have sex. They're heterosexual. But without marriage and without kids, at the very least, So obviously, if they were asexual, it'd be different. But they're not asexual. They're heterosexual. So I just can see that it does actually work out. Because they've been together absolute years. There doesn't seem to be any major problems. I've never heard them have any major problems or anything. I went away with my cousin to Disneyland Paris in 2014, and she was telling me all about their relationship and how good it was. And also my uncle was very poorly, which was my cousin's dad, and her boyfriend helped look after him and treated him really well. So, there tends to be sometimes in Western culture this stereotype that some foreign guys are no good, that they don't treat people right, and that simply isn't true. It's based on an individual level of how someone treats someone. This guy, who's my cousin's boyfriend, treats her dad really, really well, and her well as well. So you have to understand that everyone has their own merits. I was reading this article, which is actually a feminist article, but I'm not a feminist, right? But although some people think I'm a feminist, but I don't even really know what feminist means. So, I mean, I'm for women's rights, obviously, but I don't call myself a feminist. But so I was reading this, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly in Navigating a Multicultural Relationship, which was really, really interesting. And it's interesting that some of the differences she talks about, that she was born in New York, and that her fiance was born in Egypt. She's always been a city girl, and he was raised in a farming village. Her first language is Spanish, and his is first Arabic. She's the eldest of 3 girls, and he is the youngest of 7 siblings. She's raised strict Catholic, and he was Coptic Christian. Was raised Coptic Christian. She drinks coffee, and he drinks tea. These are very, very obviously different. So she says that this is on everydayfeminism.com, by the way. I don't own this, right? It belongs to them, but I'm just reading about it. It says that, they met on a cold New York city night. Almost 4 years later, we are still together, and they're planning to get married. So it can work. And they've had a lifetime been together. They haven't had a lifetime together yet, but it's been one of the most fulfilling and challenging relationships of my life. So I think, that is totally true. And it says, and while love is powerful and it may conquer all, it isn't enough to make a relationship work. You also need understanding and a lot of compromise. And it's totally true, I think, it's when you come from different backgrounds and have different beliefs, like in any friendship even, you're not always going to agree on it. And it's how you can cope and deal with not always agreeing, and still be amicable and still caring and loving and empathetic and sympathetic. Thank you for the thumbs up, with each other. Because I think that's a really, really difficult thing to navigate in any relationship. How do you express yourself? How do you still keep your sense of self whilst also respecting the fact that not everyone has the same opinion as you, that not everyone has the same needs or wants as you, or the same desires as you. Not everyone has the same mindset as you. Just because you believe in something doesn't mean to say the other person has to. EUA. Oh, hi, Marcelo. But I can't completely. I think it says good night. I live in the UK, the United Kingdom, if you're asking me. So you're saying good night. I can't, because I speak English. I don't really speak many other languages apart from a few words of French. That's about it. So I think you're saying something about the night. Yeah, because I'm streaming this in the middle of the night, and you want to know something about EUA. I live in the United Kingdom, which is England. I live in. Anyway, it's nice to see you, Marcelo. I appreciate it. So what was I saying? So going back to what I was saying is, I think in any relationship, including friendship, there's going to be differences, and you can't make someone agree with you, right? You don't want to be making someone agree with you in a carbon copy of you, Thanks for the thumbs up. Being in a relationship or friendship. Oh, hi, Eddie. Nice to see you. Lots of love. Lovely to hear you, as always. So being in any type of relationship where it's multicultural or a friendship even, does take a lot of understanding. You've got to keep your sense of self-worth. You've got to be able to grow and change and have your own opinion. And you've got to be able to allow the other person to do that. You've got to understand sometimes that neither one of you is right and neither one of you is wrong. You just have differences of opinions. You just come from different angles. You just, you just don't always agree on things, but you can't make someone else wrong for not accepting or agreeing with your opinion, because you have to kind of let them take flight on their own whilst still caring about them a lot. I mean, in any relationship, even any friendship, sometimes there's difficult conversations you have to have with that person, and you have to try and work out ways in which you can both be comfortable in the friendship or relationship, because you might have upset each other by accident. It's going to happen. You're never going to have the perfect friendship or perfect relationship where you never make each other unhappy, because if you do have that, there's a sense of, are you both being yourselves? Are you really both being yourselves, or are you just hiding who you really are, afraid of what the other person might think or say to you? Therefore, really, your friendship's based on, or your relationship's based on, only half truths and not solely who you are. You have to keep your own integrity, your own values, beliefs, morals, your own stance on life, while also respecting the other person can be very different to you. And obviously, when you're in multicultural relationship, you've got the other aspects thrown in the mix on that, which might be completely different country culture. It might be completely different ethnicity culture as well. So you've kind of got all the issues that you would deal with in a friendship or relationship, and you've got you've got it extra on top. Oh, you're using Google Translator. Thank you. How are asexuals treated in your country? Is it easier or have you difficulties? Oh, okay. Thanks for using the translator. Love you lots. Appreciate you, Marcelo. Well, to answer your question, so Marcelo is in chat. So if any of you want to come and chat, feel free. Obviously, ask respectful questions, which Marcelo is doing. So to answer Marcelo's question is, how are asexuals, because I'm asexual, I lack sexual attraction, treated in your country? Is it easier or have you difficulties? So, for example, with me, I'm personally quite unique in the fact I'm openly asexual to the whole world. Like, I do this channel every single day that I can do this channel. I've been on this channel for 15 years. I've got a book out for asexuals. I've got a blog and stuff like that. However, having said that, even though I've got so much asexual stuff I do, it depends on the individual person. So I wouldn't say in our country all asexuals are treated this way or all asexuals are treated the other way. I don't have any experience of anyone in huge numbers being against asexuals. I have nothing against people who are different, etc. Going back to your question, treated in your country. So for example, I have no problems with other people doing different, but some people do have problems with that. And basically, what happens is, in our country, I don't see anyone being against asexuals or being for asexuals as such. I think it's on an individual level, as in, are the people you're around or come across or mixing with, are they accepting of your sexual orientation or not? So I would say in the UK, there's still a lot of work to be done around what asexuality is. The guys that I come across, most of them haven't heard of asexuality before. But I always tell someone, at the very least, I don't like sex. So if I go to a nightclub, for example, because I love dancing, I actually adore kissing, I will always tell a guy that I'm not interested in sex. I don't always use the word asexual if I'm in a nightclub, because, you know, I've got a lot of problems online as it is with a lot of people globally. People coming on my Facebook page thinking asexual means I'm a highly sexual person. So there's a very, very big disconnect between what asexuality is and what sexuals, for example, think it is. So they see the word asexual and they just think, oh, she's an asexual, you know, she's a sexual person. Oh, I've got to ask her sexual questions. I've got to, you know, like on my Asexualise page on Facebook, I get asked for videos, which I presume is porn videos. I get asked to cam sex. I get asked all sorts of really rude questions. I get guys who are married chatting me up. I have to block them. You know, and I get, you know, I got someone even on my asexualise.com blog for asexuals come in my chat bubble and say, hey, you know, how do you know, like, oh, you like sex? What type of sex do you like? How do you find sex? You know, and it's so, you know, it's kind of like really, really weird, you know. Yeah, they don't see, like Eddie says, they see it as asexual. Yes, exactly, Eddie. They see it as a sexual person. They don't see that A directly in front of the sexual with no gap is anything different than a sexual person. It just looks like I've got it wrong, spelt wrong. You know, they think I'm I'm a sexual person, so I'm highly sexual because I'm advertising I'm asexual. So I'm basically saying to the world, hey, I'm sexual. That's the vibe it gives out to sexuals. That's what the misunderstanding is. This is why it's so important that I get asexuality recognised as a sexual orientation in its own right. I appreciate it's part of the LGBT plus acronym, but the point with and the problem with that is sexuals don't understand the difference. They're like, oh, you're gay or you're lesbian or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's like, no, I'm really not. And so this is where the difficulty lies. There needs to be a lot more media coverage with asexuality in and of its own right taught or explained to sexuals who just don't understand. You know, like I had someone come on my Facebook page, an entrepreneur woman. Oh, hi, Amit. Lovely to see you. Lovely to see you, as always. So I had someone come on my on my Facebook profile. She's like a coach, right? So I get a lot of entrepreneurs connect with me as well, and coaching people, business people. And she's got a friend and she thinks might be asexual. I can't obviously reveal any details because that would be wrong. So, but anyway, you know, I just, you know, she said asexual, and I said, oh yeah, when the A is put, thanks for the thumbs up, love you lots. When the A is put with the sexual together, you know, it means asexual as in the lack of sexual attraction. But like Eddie says, a lot of people take asexual who don't know, have never heard of the term before. They don't know that it means absence of sexual attraction. That's basically what the A stands for. If you think about it, A in front of the sexual means absence of sexual attraction. So that's basically, you know, asexual is all one word together. So, so in terms of your going back to your question, Marcelo, how asexual treated in your country, it's very much by case basis, I would say. I wouldn't say that anyone's for asexuals or anyone's against asexuals, but I was a speaker at the UK Asexuality conference in London. So we do have conferences, you know, we try to have a conference each year. I'm not always part of that. And that was in 2018. I think they're doing a virtual one this year, but I'm so busy with the other work I do for asexuals. that, you know, I'm so busy with the other work I do for Asexuals that I don't have time to do all this other extra stuff. But I was a speaker at the UK Asexuality conference. So obviously, Marcelo, there is some acceptance in the UK because we have the conference that goes on. And we also, you know, do appear on other places. You know, there's a model, for example, that's quite well known now for asexuality. She's a lingerie model, so she's quite controversial. You know, there's a few people in the UK that, besides me, that are getting the word out about asexuality. You know, but you know, some of the. So I personally though would say that because of my personality, it's easier for me to be asexual. I don't think, you know, in general, it's so much easier. But I hold asexual meetups in my city, and we openly talk about asexuality in pubs, in restaurants, in cafes. So there is a kind of a leniency. There's kind of like more, you can talk about what you want, more freedom than I guess some other countries have got. But I'm very outspoken, as you know, if you watch this channel, you know, I'm not afraid to say what I think, you know. It does Eddie, to some, all they do is skim a page and see sex and hit send message. Yes, Eddie, I totally agree with that. That was what you were saying in regards to my Asexualise page. That's exactly what they see. They see the word sex, and they ultimately think I want sex. You know, that's all they see. And some of them have got specific keyword targeters that look for those words. Oak Tree, Sandra is my platonic love. Okay. I'm thank you. I'm not obviously in a relationship with anyone, but if you feel that way, thank you. Amit, multicultural relationship. I think it's work, understanding and friendship important. Yes, Amit. I agree with you there. It takes a lot of work and understanding and friendship importance. Sexual purity and virginity are important to me. Yes, Oak Tree, but not every asexual is a virgin, as we know, you know, and sexual purity is different to asexuality. You know, you have to understand that asexuality is a sexual orientation that's a lack of sexual attraction. Some asexuals are still sexual in behavior. Some asexuals still have sex. It's one of the myths and stereotypes surrounding asexuality that no asexuals have sex, that, you know, we're all virgins. Some of us are virgins. I'm really happy for people who've kept their virginity. You know, you should be very proud of yourself. I could be in a relationship with a virgin quite happily, you know, and I think it's really important that you've kept that for yourself. Don't get me wrong, I think that's great. But, you know, you have to understand that asexuals that have had sex in their past, for example, are not, you know, not any less valid. You know, and purity is also about thought, about your heart, about your soul, not just about whether you've had sex or not. Purity is how kind you are to someone, how kind you are to other people, how compassionate you are and understanding of them, and how respectful you are of other people, not just yourself. So purity, you know, is a huge topic. But yeah, Amit, I mean, one of the reasons why I thought about doing this video is because I was approached by an Indian guy again who popped up in my Facebook messages, private message saying, hey, I'm a ace, how are you? So I do, you know, so I got, you know, again, he's not friend requested me and he's in India, you know. So it's the same problem that I've always got with the fact that, you know, if you don't know my story, you know, that I am a person who predominantly is attracted to Indian guys. There's no two ways about it. I've been like that since 2014. You know, I'm more attracted to foreign guys than British in general, even though my last boyfriend was British. And younger guys in their 20s usually, early to mid 20s, and predominantly Indian. And what are the difficulties or potential difficulties with that is that a lot of in India culture, because I've got an Indian friend that I've been friends with a long time, and also Amit, I've been friends with them for a very long time on Facebook as well, who's from India, who's asexual, on the asexual spectrum. So, but my other friend isn't asexual, but I think they could be in an asexual relationship. I've known them for years on Facebook. So, you know, in terms of culture, the main cultural differences are, you know, from my own, if you like, but not from my own. So my background is that my mum's a housewife and my dad goes out to work. That's a traditional family role years ago in the UK. My parents still carry that on. My parents have been married for 51 years. It works very, very well. They've just had their 51st anniversary, right? Recently. Okay, so it can work because they both like that type of lifestyle. They both like that type of life. I am completely the opposite to that. I don't like doing housework for a guy. I don't like cooking. I don't like cleaning. I don't like housework. I don't like doing anything like that for a guy, right? I have enough of my own life to deal with. Not because I'm being horrible, but because love is all about self-love as well. And I don't get any satisfaction or self-love from doing those things. In fact, they make me very aggravated if I'm doing them for other people. Like, I have to do them for myself. I buy paper plates so I can just chuck them away. So I don't do, I do the least amount of housework for myself as I possibly can do. Right. And, I don't want to be slaving over an oven. I don't like cooking. It's not something I enjoy. I like going out food shopping, but cooking, I like the shopping, just not the cooking. And I do wash clothes regularly. They're basically my two things I do: food shopping quite a bit and clothes washing. I do hoover my flat every few days. But I don't want to be a housewife. That's the opposite to who I am. I'm a career girl. I would rather be building a website. I'd rather be on this channel. I'd rather be talking to you. I'd rather be helping asexuals. I'd rather be having this video that someone can be helped by it. I'd rather be changing lives, even if it's in a small way. Even if we just change one life, even if one person watches one video and it just completely changes their life in some way, we've done a good deal. We've done a good deed. We can be proud of ourselves in life, So it's very, very, very important that we understand differences if we are going to think about getting into a multicultural relationship, So traditionally, Indian guys tend to have the woman at home doing the housewife bit, the food cooking, cleaning and everything. And the guy goes out to work. Very much like my parents. I am the opposite to my parents, which is where one of the problem lies in terms of, being with an Indian guy, for example. I like public displays of affection. I have to have that in a relationship. It's a deal breaker for me. I know that might seem weird to you, but it's an absolute deal breaker for me. If a guy's not prepared to snog me in public, hold my hand, kiss me, cuddle me, have me on his lap in public, it's like, I'm just not interested, mate. However much I like you. I told you, one of the guys I was in a relationship with was from Afghanistan, right? And he was prepared to do highly sexual, because I was in sexual relationships back then. You have to understand, I've been in heterosexual relationships half of my life, right? So back then, I was in a relationship with him where he was being sexually active with me, right? In private. But when we went out to the supermarket, he wouldn't even hold my hand. And he did something that wasn't very nice to me, right? But the reason I actually split up with him completely was because he wouldn't hold my hand in public, because I cannot live like a caged animal. And to me, that type of life is, me personally, that's just my feeling. Most people don't agree with this or feel like this or think like this. I feel like a caged animal. I cannot live like that. I won't live like that. I'd rather be single for the rest of my life than live that type of life. I need my freedom to kiss the guy, to cuddle him, to be close to him. It's just something I adore, and I need a guy who's got that same enthusiasm, that same want, that same need as me, And so he's got to be prepared that as well, that I'm an older girl, most likely going to be an older girl for him. So he's got to be prepared to stick up to his family, say, hey, I'm going to be with an asexual girl. She doesn't like sex. I'm going to be doing some of the cooking, or I'm certainly going to be cooking for myself and cleaning for myself and looking after myself, and probably living in separate places, which is different from what the family unit would usually want. She doesn't want marriage, so I'm not going to marry her. And she doesn't want kids, I'm not going to have kids. Usually, traditionally, in Indian families that have marriage, they have kids. They have more than one kid, quite often. And the woman's at home cooking and cleaning. And I don't know how the public displays of affection are in that country. I don't actually completely know about that, but I know in a lot of other countries, you shouldn't be kissing and holding hands and doing stuff like that in public. So, there's a lot of stuff going on in that culture that's the opposite of what I actually want. But I believe there's someone in every different culture that has their own culture within it, that breaks traditions, breaks conventions, and does live the life that they want to live. So not everyone is tied to what their family and parents believe, that some people will go their own separate way. Marcelo, I thank you for your answers. I will leave a Brazilian musical trip. I will leave a Brazilian musical trip for you. There is a singer called Ana Frango. Electrico. Listen to the album. Little Electric Heart Chicken. Oh, that sounds really cool. I'm gonna just get some toilet paper for my nose. Right, that's really nice. I will leave a Brazilian music tip for you. I thought you said trip. Music tip for you. Ana Frango Electrico. Listen to the album Little Electric. Oak Tree. It was nice to watch you live for the first time. Seeba's calling me good speeches to you. I wish you were with me and could lullaby me. My precious pure heart purring. Okay, have a nice night. Yeah, I don't know what to say to that. Good luck. So yes, going back. So, you know, you see how the cultural, yes, Eddie, oh my, exactly. I mean, I'm not actually in a relationship with anyone. He may say that I'm his platonic love. That's up to him how he feels, but it's not the same. As in, I'm not in a relationship with him or anyone. I just have that perfectly clear. So yes. You know, how people feel about me, it's up to them. You know, I feel differently because I'm not in a relationship with them. I don't want to be. So, thank you very much. But I appreciate anything like that's nice. Anyway, and obviously I've had sex before, so I'm not a virgin. So yeah, what was I saying? Right, let's get back to the stream. So, yes, so as you can see that I like Indian guys, but their culture is very different. Their culture is very kind of much like my parents. So if I was like my parents a lot, I'd probably fit in a lot better with Indian culture, but I'm the opposite to my parents, you know? I love my parents to bits. I respect them and I respect their relationship works and they're really happy with it, which is great. They've been together for years, so clearly it works for them, just it's not my type of thing. So yeah, I think that, you know, when you've got multicultural in relationships, you've got people from different backgrounds, so it can be very, very difficult. The worst thing for me is most of the guys that seem to like me or I like them, they're usually all still living in India. Apart from I have met 3 Indian guys in the club in my city, but again, they all want sex, you know, it's the same kind of problem, you know, is that not only with being asexual have you got the cultural difference to deal with if you prefer being with someone from a different ethnicity or country or culture anyway, but you've also got thrown into the mix your own sexuality, you know? So it's got to be taken case by case, you know, going back to what Marcelo was asking, you know. I mean, I've had some people that have been very rude about my asexuality. I've had other people, I've actually met someone, my friend, she was doing karaoke semi-final, I think it was. And there was a guy actually went to support his friend. He lived in London and he's like asexual. Different type to me, but he was like, oh yeah, asexual is just well known, isn't it? So he was like completely like he was like completely you know, basically like it's just the norm. So I have met an asexual like didn't expect to me, and there's a guy who's in my local pet shop. He's asexual, he's an aromantic asexual, he admitted it to me. Thanks for the thumbs up, appreciate you. So yeah, it's really, really to be taken on its own merits, you know. So I have met 2 sexuals that are completely nothing to do with that meetups I usually hold. Eddie, sexual, Hispanic, and pagan. Who's sexual, Hispanic, and pagan? Is that you? So yeah, so I just, I did notice in this article, going back to this article on everydayfeminism.com about different multicultural relationships, I did know that they did say one of the hardest things is the fact that a lot of people judge their relationship, they get a lot of criticism, and also the fact is they said the bad about it. They said sometimes our cultures can be very similar, such as the way Latinos and Arabs are raised to be selfless and family centric, but sometimes our cultures are polar opposites. Latin Americans are socially conservative, but we are allowed to date as much as needed before marrying. But in Arab cultures, dating is frowned upon. Couples often meet through family members or friends, and if the match is good, they get engaged. I had a tough time knowing that while I wasn't ready to be engaged, his family frowned upon us just being boyfriend and girlfriend. At times, due to our penchant, is that how you pronounce it, to revert to our native tongue when necessary, we run into communication issues. Sometimes it's just a mispronounced word due to our accents. Did you say pear or bear? Other times it's a total lack of understanding. Egyptians make a teething sound to respond to no. Dominicans use this same sound to signify annoyance, as in "Mom, can I have some money?" This simple difference caused us many headaches and fits of giggles until we understood what exactly each was trying to say. So there can be severe language barriers, and it can be difficult because someone like foreign, for example, could say something that use the wrong word and it could actually upset the British person. I've known that some foreign guys, they say stuff to me and I'm like, you're saying some hurtful words, and I don't even know if they know what they're saying in certain, because the sentence is fine, but the one or two words, it's like, why are you using those words? It's completely out of context. So Eddie says, yeah, sexual, Hispanic, and pagan. Right, okay. That's you. Yeah. Thank you. So, there's gonna be these kind of differences crop up. When people tell us that communication is key to a successful relationship, I can only smile and sigh if only they knew. So yeah, like if you find it hard to communicate with that person, say you are in the UK and they don't speak much English, that can be very difficult. You kind of have to use a lot of sign language, a lot of body language, a lot of facial expressions. But I am very good with that because I've had refugee friends before, people who are illegal in this country, and and some refugees, they become legal in this country as well, not all illegal. So some of them are illegal immigrants and some of them get legal status, residency. So once I met with this guy who basically was a refugee, and it was through some voluntary work I was doing for community community, or it was basically community volunteers. I used to be a member of community volunteers and volunteer community. I used to be a member of CVA and CVS, that's it, Community Service Volunteers, CSV, and CVS, Community Volunteer Services. So I used to be a member of both of those, got both confusing. So I did training in refugees, like what it's like for refugees to come into this country and how it's difficult for them actually. And I had actual proper training in that by Plymouth Centre for Refugees in the UK. So that was quite interesting. That's how I met this guy. And I met him when he'd moved. And we met up and went to the cinema and out for some food. And he barely spoke any English, but I still managed to talk to him. But the thing is, he's pretty much interested in sex. So that's what I mean. Like, above all else, most multicultural people from completely different countries, usually understand the word sex if they understand nothing else. And it's usually the words their mates have taught them, like, yes, I want sex, yes, I like sex, which if you're asexual is no good. If you don't like sex. So that's why it's quite difficult, you've got that difficult barrier, like if you throw asexuality into the mix, it's highly difficult for you to get across the fact you don't need or want sex. So my advice really is to try and find someone from a different multicultural background if you're in, specifically want someone from a different background that does actually talk, some of your language enough to sufficiently tell them that you're asexual and what that means for you, and for them to understand it, because it's very difficult, and then this person's gone on to say the ugly truth about, intercultural, not even interracial relationship with these people. So we might be able to communicate in a neutral language, in our case English, but our families might never be able to speak with each other or spend a lot of time together. I have a lot of family in the United States, and for the most part they speak enough English to communicate with my fiance, but his immediate family all live in Egypt, and except for his younger relatives, they speak no English. But his immediate family all live in Egypt, and except for his younger relatives, they speak no. Oh, right, I've just said that, no English. When I visit them, I communicate via an interpreter, or simply with hand gestures and facial expressions. We hope that in the future I can bring my family to visit his in Egypt, but the reality is that due to monetary constraints and political instability in Egypt, that is not likely to happen anytime soon. And this was quite striking. Another very ugly aspect of our relationship is the way in which we are perceived by others. I'm often asked if I will have to convert to Islam and cover up once I get married. Never mind that he isn't Muslim, and even if he were, it shouldn't be anyone's concern. Other times people feel the need to warn me due to stereotypes they hold. They claim that once we have children, he would take them away to live in his country, and I will never see them again. Cute in Sally Field in the movie Not Without My Daughter. Or that he will eventually demand I quit my job and be a housewife. He gets similar warnings about me. They tell him to be careful because Latinas are loose and hypersexualized. They suggest he finds someone more like him. Sometimes complete strangers inquire about our relationship and openly state how they don't believe it will work out in the long run. They say our children will grow up to be confused and with no sense of self. This criticism is the most difficult part of our relationship. I won't lie, being in a multicultural relationship has many challenges. You need to have an open mind and be willing to do things the other way when necessary. Yes, attraction, love, and understanding are all ultimately the things. Attraction, love, and understanding are ultimately the only things a couple needs to survive. It's great to have the approval of our family and our society, but when that support is not readily available, one becomes unified by other factors. In our case, it's our love for the arts, disregard for religion, and addiction to cooking shows. I can relate to that as an asexual person, because we are different, and we don't necessarily have the approval of society, or some people don't even have the approval of their families. But you've got to do it in spite of, like my family, my parents, my mum and dad, they know that I want to be with a younger foreign guy around the age of 23, 24, ideally. And he's likely to be Indian, but certainly foreign. But I'm definitely going to be with a younger guy. I mean, when I was around there years ago, I used to be kissing in front of them. Not that they're very into that or like it very much, but I'm like, well, I'm just being me, aren't I? Like, you know what I mean? That's my lovely parents for you. They're beautiful, really. It's just we're very different, that's all. So it says be open-minded and willing to learn. Talk about what you will and will not compromise on. Discuss how future children will be raised, religion, schooling, language, visits to the relatives, and all of the above, and focus on what makes you both happy. So yeah, you really have to be discussing all that early on. I've said before and I'll say it again, when you're going for any potential relationship, you need to be discussing, deal breakers, like, do you want to get married? Do you want kids? Obviously if you're asexual, do you want sex or not? And I think it's difficult in any situation with any culture, even from your own country, let alone from another country. But I think if two people really love each other and you have some stuff in common and you have shared values, beliefs, goals, ambitions, and dreams, and I think it really can work, as well as respecting the fact that you might have your own goals, ambitions, and dreams separate from each other, but ones that are good for you or healthy for your relationship, ones that you respect, ones that you care about, ones you really trust, and I think it's very, very important, that you remain true to who you are, but also accept the other person. It's not always easy, you know. But I think the best thing is to get someone who's very, very value driven like you and got the same sort of morals, beliefs, and that, you know. But people's beliefs can change, people's work can change, people's lives can change. This is why sometimes people get divorced. This is why sometimes people split up or just drift apart, because their lives become so different because they become a different person. So the best types of healthy relationships are ones in which you can grow together as well as grow as individuals and still be respectful of each other's differences, you know. But obviously, you know, I mean, I've had a situation on this channel in the comments where, you know, there's been one person whose partner was asexual and they identified as demisexual and they couldn't live without sex. So they were going around sleeping with other people. And that hurt them because they weren't monogamous. Their partner turned out to be demisexual polyamorous, you know? So, and that wasn't going to be healthy for them. So my advice is, you know, if you really want a monogamous relationship and it's hurting you, then you'll have to split up, you know? That can be true for friendships or relationships. But always talk to the other person, try and work things out first, you know, because sometimes there become misunderstandings. And obviously, in a multicultural relationship, there can be more misunderstandings than ever before. So I think you have to take the person as you find them on their own merits as well. You know, like I said, I'm very different to my own culture within my own country, within my own family, let alone, you know, like British culture. Even with my own family, I'm very different, you know. And I really hope that one day I'll meet an Indian guy in the UK who's, you know, like westernized more, if you like, that, you know, family's not bothered where he gets married or not. If he doesn't want kids, that's his own choice and they respect that, and you know that he doesn't need to give them babies and stuff, you know, grandchildren, all that lot, and that, you know, he's very independent but really wants a relationship as well, and he likes public displays of affection. His family are like kind of laid back and cool about that. That's what I would wish for myself, you know. But when I meet Indian guys later that are asexual, they're usually always in their own country. It's always private message. They don't usually friend request me, so they're kind of in hiding. You know, it's all kind of secretive, and that's not the situational relationship that I want for myself. You know, I appreciate that some other people aren't out about being asexual. I do, but for me, that type of guy is no good. You know, I need a guy who is similar to me in these ways, you know, who loves public displays of affection, who loves kissing, who loves cuddling, who loves, you know, being a unit without a written piece of paper in a church or registry office or wherever. Do you know what I mean? A guy who's very, very hugely committed without the need for that, you know? And a guy who definitely doesn't need children, you know? There are people that are different. I told you there was a guy in my city from he was from, where is he from? He's from Egypt, is he? And you know, basically, anyway, he's from a different country and he's not suitable because he's not asexual and he can't live without sex. But he was telling me that he doesn't want kids, even though his culture is they want kids. He doesn't. He believes that you can't spend quality time with your partner and you can't have the lifestyle you want if you've got a kid, because basically it's a different lifestyle and he didn't want that lifestyle, and that's the type of thing I agree with. So we agreed with that type of thing. So there are people that kind of I don't know if going against their culture is the right word to use, but who don't take their culture to heart and actually embody it into themselves, that have their own independent life, their own independent personality, their own independent culture. Oh, hi, my life. It's nice to see you, as always. Lots of love. So, you know, I believe within any culture, you know, people can break out of that culture if they want, and people can go their own way and live their own life, you know. So I'm hoping one day to find the right Indian guy for me. But like I said, there's my actual background in terms of my own culture, of my mum being a housewife, my dad going out to work and all that lot, but that is very similar to Indian culture in that way, which is quite ironic. Yet that's a culture that I personally don't like for myself. So it's quite funny, you know. So my parents are quite reserved. They don't usually show public displays of affection, like I said. And you know, mum's housewife, my dad goes out and does the work. Usually he runs a non-profit now, so But obviously in the lockdown at the moment, my dad's not doing any work. My dad's at home with my mum because my mum's on full isolation. Like, she doesn't go out at all. Only my dad goes out. They've got a garden. She goes out in the garden because she's high risk category in 3 different categories. So when I'm recording this in 2020, with the V situation still at large, then, you know, my mum's on lockdown, personally isolation for a long time as a preventative measure. So, you know, but so my dad's not doing any work because he can't, because of his non-profit's closed at the moment. You know, because he doesn't have to work, so it's non-profit. So, and all the people that attend his courses can't come because he does courses in blacksmithing, in case you were wondering. So yeah, so actually my family culture is kind of like Indian culture more than I am, which is kind of strange. Do you know what I mean? To think that, yeah, my family, my mum and dad's kind of relationship is very much like an Indian kind of guy and girl's relationship. But it's not the one I want for myself. So that's quite ironic, really. Yeah. So I think, you know, like what I noticed in this article I just read out is, you know, I think there's a lot of stereotypes with different cultures, and if you know you're all people see is news from on the TV and stuff about what people from different religions can do to you and stuff, it can paint a very bad picture, you know. But I know there's, within any culture or religion, there are people that are good and people who are not so good. My life, oh, I always like to hear how you're doing with your boyfriend. My boyfriend gave me a pot with 2 plants. Wow. 6 jars of homemade jello and a bag of extra cheddar goldfish a week or so ago. Goldfish. Is this as in cheddar goldfish? Is this as in actual fish? Goldfish as in you put in a tank? And we're both getting the graduation presents ready, but we're waiting until graduation. Oh, and he gave me cookies. Wow. Wow, that's a lot of stuff. In the UK, we're not allowed to, theoretically, I don't know, everyone's putting it into practice. We're not meant to, we're still meant to be isolating from people, not in our own household. In the UK, not everyone's doing that, but I'm still doing that. But yeah, so I think different people are at different stages, aren't they, in the world, or doing their own thing anyway. But yeah, so I don't personally, I haven't actually you know, met up with anyone. But, you know, yeah, it sounds like you're both getting on really, really well. So are you back in education then? Because in the UK, the schools aren't open here yet, but I think they're planning to open some next month. But yeah, so, but I don't, there's quite an uproar about it in the UK. You know, vulnerable kids going back and mixing. So yeah, but that sounds really, we're both still in online school. I didn't realise that. Wow, you've got online school. That's incredible. Wow. That's really, really good. Wow. That's amazing. Well done, my life. That's really, really good. When Mum met his dad. Oh, this is good. This is really good. I always love to follow different love stories, real life love stories. Eddie's in a real life love story. You're in a real life love story. Everyone hit it off well though. My mum is still judgy. Yeah, I mean that's good. I mean your mum probably needs to just have time to come around. She's probably very skeptical. It's kind of like, I guess she's just being overprotective. But, and they didn't kind that I'm a furry. They didn't kind that I'm a furry. Oh, mind. You meant mind that you're a furry. That's really good. That's really good. Well, your boyfriend sounds really caring and that he really likes you and doing a lot for you, which is really, really good still. Yeah. Yeah, they didn't mind that you're a furry. Typo. Yeah. That's really good. That's really, really good. He is And he's adorable. Yeah, that's really good. It's good that he's still giving you gifts. He's still caring about you, still taking care of you. This is very important. He seems to be doing that more and more, which is good. That's a very good sign of a good, healthy relationship. Because some guys, you know, after a while, they would just like, you know, start doing the opposite. But he seems to be maintaining and sustaining his affection for you, and that's very, very good. Eddie is an asexual, but Eddie is with an asexual girlfriend now for 2.5 years without sex, so it's really good. So it's really good. It gives me lots of hope that one day I'll meet the right young foreign guy for me. One day. I at the moment I'm not focusing on that. I miss being able to hug and cuddle and kiss him and hold hands, but social distancing and all, have to take precautions. Yeah. Yeah, I know. That must be really difficult, my life, you know. I was wondering how it is for couples who have to do that, you know, not be able to hug, cuddle, and kiss him and hold hands. It's, you know, you have to take precautions to kind of keep each other safe, don't you? You know, it's kind of really hard if you don't live in the same household. Obviously, if you live in the same household, it's different, you know. But my housemate, well, I say housemate, I live in a flat in the middle of a house on my own, but there's people who live in the other part of the house, and there's a mother and daughter that lives in part of the house, and her boyfriend lives quite a few miles away, so she can't see him at all. So I don't know how that's going. She said it's going okay, but she didn't, you know. I'm working on trying to find a job, and my mum might have to go back to work soon. Eek. Yeah, things are changing so fast at the moment, aren't they, my life? You know, they're changing very fast. In the UK, they seem to be kind of changing fast, but there's kind of like a lot of confusion because in the UK, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales are different to sorry, Scotland, Ireland, yeah, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales are different to England. So England's like relaxed. And some shops are opening, non-essential shops are opening next month. And so we're on high alert, but not full lockdown anymore. And it's a bit difficult because they're still saying, oh, well, don't go out unless you have to, work from home. But yet you're encouraged to go out shopping again, get clothes or whatever when they open to get the economy going. It's like kind of, well, that's very different instructions. One is stay at home, still save lives. The other one is go out and spend loads of money. It's kind of like, and if you've been at home for a while, how are you going to have loads of money anyway? So yeah, that's kind of like mixed messages really. But Wales, Scotland, and Ireland are still on full lockdown. So, you know, they're still keeping their people off work, which is, I think, a good thing. So my life is hard because she's at high risk. She works as a cashier and has lupus. Oh, yeah, lupus is very, very difficult to deal with, isn't it? Very, very difficult to deal with. I knew a person in the UK who used to work in my old job, and she had to go to America to get treatment for lupus because there wasn't any in the UK that she could get for her condition. Yeah, that is high risk because I've got fibromyalgia, which is an autoimmune condition as well. Then that puts me at high risk, technically speaking, because it lowers the immune system, so I can get other illnesses because I've got that. And it's you know, I'm trying to like manage both my physical and mental health quite a bit at the moment, more than even normal, you know, because I've had 3 respiratory infections. November, February and March I had them, you know, so I've got to be careful because I can be prone to chest problems. So my life after June, the only money we'll have coming in is food stamps. So if she's denied for disability again, she'll have to work. It's horrible, isn't it, my life? I can't get disability money over in the UK. So, I mean, I might have to get an employed job as well later on this year, which I don't really want to think about. Because obviously, I know I'm first of all, I've got new businesses coming out this year, which I'm going to be trying to make a good go of, but it takes a while to get anything off the ground, as you know. But likely, because my angel, guinea pig, she's diabetic, as you know, I have to pay for a treatment. Currently she's finishing being covered for insurance for diabetic treatment, but they won't insure her anymore for diabetes. So after that, the money that I was getting paid by the insurance company, they're not getting anymore. So I likely have to go out and work in an employed job as well as doing self-employed stuff come September time, towards the end of the year, if the situation is where it is at the moment. So because I can't get any disability either, so it's very, you know, because I can look after myself and manage my fibros so well and quite energetic and active, then it's like, yes, you can move around, you can actually cook for yourself, and you can actually walk places, and you can even go dancing. So yeah, you know, like it's difficult when you've got unseen disability. It's harder. So people like, they don't look like there's anything wrong with you. And me, comparison to a lot of fibro people, there isn't, because obviously I wrote a book on it, as you know, Fibromyalgia Self-Help Handbook, and I'm really good at managing it. But I still need an ID so I can get health insurance, a fishing license, a bank account, a motorcycle license. Wow, all right. And to get a job I need an ID too. Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it, my life? I mean, I hope your mum will be okay. I think it's difficult if you've got underlying health conditions and having to like go out to work again. I think that's a very, very scary prospect, you know, because I even worry about that for myself. Like at the moment, I work from home all the time, but you know, to get the sufficient money I need, you know, later on in the year, I'm probably going to have to go back to an employed job as well as doing self-employed stuff, depending on how my self-employed businesses work out. If I don't have to, I won't. But you know what I mean? It's kind of difficult when you have to support yourself. It's a lot harder, I think. Wish I was near a farm. I could easily be a farm hand without an ID. Oh, bless you. I grew up next to a farm. But all over the place, they try and cut costs anyway, don't they? So you never know. They've got to have work going in the first place, you know. And with the way the world is at the moment, I guess, you know, farmers are doing better because people need food to eat. So I'm guessing they're doing better in that way. But I have no idea. But yeah, so I think it's really difficult. I hope your mum does get disability, because I feel for people who have got like unseen disabilities, who've got autoimmune conditions, because obviously lupus, like fibro, is an autoimmune condition, isn't it? So it makes you more susceptible to getting things. I just pray that if she does go back, that her mind is very strong as much as possible, because obviously if the body isn't so strong as it should be, you have to have like full strength in the mind as much as possible. But it's hard work if you've got if you've got disability on top, trying to do a normal employed job and trying to live with a disability at the same time. Like, that is very, very hard going. I know, personal experience. You know, there's certain things that I can't really do. If I do them, it'll make me really ill. So you know, like, working from home is ideal, really. But you know, I think it's you know, quite worrying. But then you can't worry about it, because if you get put in that position, you have to not worry about it to keep your immune system high. My life. Since my boyfriend and I planned to live in Texas, I was mainly worried about the heat, because he loves the heat, but I can't withstand the heat. Praise God, I'm a furry. I remembered hearing about cooling vests. Oh, bless you. I'm okay to a certain point in the heat, and then it just gets too much, so I can't work in it. I guess that's a difference as well. We're talking about multicultures as well. I guess that's very relevant, because obviously, you know, like, one person can love the heat and one person cannot love the heat, like you and your boyfriend. That's quite, I think, a common issue with people who are from different cultural backgrounds. You know, like, I live in the UK, so I'm used to the cold more in general, but I can't work. I'm with me. It's kind of like I need to have my body warm, but not overheating. So I work better in heat, but then if I'm too hot, I'm too lethargic to work, if you know what I mean. So I think that, you know, it can be quite difficult. Like, I do prefer, like, I don't work well in the cold. If I'm too cold, you know, like I'm going like this, then I can't really work in that. But if I'm sweltering and sweat's pouring off me. Like the other day, it was really hot in the UK, and I went out when it's cooler because I was so exhausted before I even went out. In terms of like, I'm just like, this is too hot for me. We'll probably have to get a bed that you can heat one side and cool the other side. Oh yeah. You can also get. I used to specialize. I'm a bed specialist, so I used to sell beds. I'm very good. It's one of my specialist topics is beds. But basically, with any mattress, you have a cool side and a hot side. But it's not usually in the UK. You get different spring systems, so you can have a for example, one side firm, on one side medium, one side soft, one side medium. That's tensions of springs. But in the UK, as far as I know, you can't get different cooler and hotter. Like it's a mattress. It's either each mattress has got a cool side or a like what they call warm side because of the fillings in it. Because you'd have to have a mattress with different fillings in it, as well as different springs. I don't know if it can be done. I've never known of people to buy a bed that's got hot one side, cold the other. Only different spring tensions. But I'm not saying it can't be done. That's an interesting question, actually. I don't work in beds anymore. It's electronic and has a remote. Oh yeah, I know. I think they're made of latex. Those, if it's electronic, they're usually made of latex because they bend. You can't bend springs usually, so it has to be made of latex or something, or you know, like latex or what's the other word? Memory foam. And they're very hot. If you ever get a memory foam bed, they are roasting. You have to have just thin sheets on. People overheat in memory foam. I was manager of a bed company, so I do know this stuff. I'm very specialist in beds. It's like I can sell beds in my sleep, just like that. I could go into a showroom. My ex used to work in a bed company, and I even went in his company over Christmas at least one Christmas, and worked there for 5 days, even though I didn't work for the company. I just got a bit of extra cash this is years ago because I'm so good at selling beds. But yeah, if it's electronic, they're usually made of latex or memory foam. Get latex, do not get memory foam. You will roast in it. It's like really, really hot. If you're going to another country, especially a hot country, and you have, you know, because it's roasting in the UK, it's well known for it. And if you do get memory foam, make sure you get the original NASA one, not some cheap rubbish. But these beds are thousands of pounds. The really expensive ones are proper real deal. I need a foam bed. I hate springs. Mine currently is a spring bed and it sucks. Yeah, but memory foam is a lot hotter than latex. Latex is a natural product and dust mites can't usually live in latex. But, you know, for a latex bed, you're talking something like £1,200. And then you can get memory foam, but memory foam is well known for making it's hotter. So even when the rep comes round, you know, I said to him, like, is it true that they're hot? He said they have to have really thin sheets, even in winter, because they do get overheated. It's a common complaint with memory foam beds. But memory foam was originally made for NASA's spacesuits. I'm going completely off topic here. That's how memory foam came into existence. It's the foam they use for spacesuits. NASA used for the spacesuits. That's where it originates from. That's the technology behind it. So, you know, it's supposed to be really good. I can't use memory foam's no good for me. It's too hard for me. If I was to choose between memory foam and latex, I'd choose latex every time. Latex is what my pillow is made of, by the way. So this is latex, right? So memory foam. I'm giving you a lesson in beds now. I lift. I can carry the bed. Laugh out loud. Oh, it's not the bed. It's the foam. If you said you have a heating problem, you can't stand the heat, and you're going to get foam, you're better to get latex if you can. Because but if you're going to get memory foam, get the original Temper ones, TEMPUR. But I didn't get on with this, so I had a Temper pillow, and I couldn't get on with a memory foam Temper pillow. I sold it in the end. They're 60 quid just for a pillow, right? But I also used to work with latex Dunlopillow. It's called Dunlopillow, which is the best. You know, this is a latex pillow, and the latex. Giving you a pillow demonstration now. This is a latex pillow. I've had it for years. I've got 2 of these, right? You only need one, but you know. So with the latex, giving a really, really good demonstration. So with the latex, right, you can put your head down. It molds into the shape. So this is foam, but this is natural. This is made from a rubber tree plant. So latex is natural from a rubber tree plant, and because of the way it's made it's natural. Dust mite can't usually live in latex. It's much healthier for your respiratory stuff. But obviously, I still have a pillow protector usually, which is waterproof, because if you're getting a decent mattress, you need a waterproof mattress protector. Not because you're some old granny or something, but because you can spill a drink or something. Or obviously, if you do ever have sex, you can spill sexual fluids on them. Being very disgusting there. Sorry, any sex repulsed asexuals that are watching this. But yeah, so obviously I just have it because I don't want to damage my really expensive pillow. So this is terry toweling and got a waterproof backing to it. So anyway, this is a Dunlop pillow. I'm just showing you. So this is a Dunlop pillow. See, Dunlop pillow. Right, so this is the best type of latex. You can get these in beds, and you can get these type of mattresses for electric beds. Right, they're like the original. These are before memory foam came in. And then, so if you put your head on it, right, it's supposed to foam's supposed to keep your spine I'm see if I can get that. Yeah. So with latex, it naturally springs back into shape. Are they super fluffy ones? No, you don't want to be fluffy ones. They're like feathers and stuff. This is the whole point. This is latex. Latex isn't fluffy. It's made of a foam, not memory foam. It's like a foam. So basically, it's like a honeycomb thing. So latex is different to memory foam. So latex is from natural rubber tube plant, but they're not fluffy. The fluffy ones have got feathers in, like goose feathers and other feathers, but they can actually give you allergies because the dust mite lives in them. Yeah, that'll have feathers in it. The fluffy ones usually have feathers. Like foam doesn't have feathers in it. So this is cotton. This here is cotton, but inside this is latex, right? Not memory foam, but it's like a type of. It has no feathers. What does it have to make it fluffy though? Does it have polyester? So probably if it doesn't have feathers, it'll have polyester in it. Polyester's the traditional ones usually. Polyester and then cotton cover. So if it doesn't have feathers in it. So the fluffy ones, the ones that plump up, they've usually got polyester or feathers in it, that type of thing. Yeah. So anyway, but this is a latex pillow, right? This is actually better for alignment of the spine. And this is the type of thing you're going to get on electric beds. Your polyester cotton type thing. Yeah. So you're going to have polyester in the pillow you've got. You're going to have polyester fillings with a cotton probably cover or polycotton cover. That's traditional pillows unless you go for a feather one. So those are two types of normal pillow. This is a latex pillow. You can get memory foam. Now I had the memory foam Temper are the top people who did the top specialists in memory foam. So they're the original people. Then you have lots of other companies now that make memory foam, but they're not the original Temper. Temper is the ones that were designed for NASA spacesuits. And then this is latex. So memory foam isn't natural like latex is. Latex is from a natural rubber tree plant. But the thing with memory foam is when your head goes into it or your body, the impression is left on it for a certain period of time, and then it's supposed to come back up, right? So the impression's got right, but with a latex one, it immediately springs back into shape straight away. So if I go like that, it immediately comes back into shape. See, so with memory foam, you would have the indentation of your head, and it'd take a little while for it to come back up. I personally don't get on with memory foam. It was too hard for my body, so I prefer latex. I don't like any of. If you get cheap memory foam, it stinks because of the fire retardancy. So I actually bought. What did I buy? I bought a memory foam mattress topper from a local supermarket in the UK, right? And I had to take it back. It absolutely stank because it was fire retardancy. It was like a polyurethane coated fire retardancy, and it absolutely stank my flat out. It was disgusting. Even though I had it laid out for a while, it stank. It was disgusting. I don't know, you people like feather pillows. They smell. A hotel I stayed at had feather ones, and the pillows weren't comfy, and they were heavy and had a bad smell. Wouldn't feather ones be prone to mold? I don't have feathers. My parents have feathers. I don't have feathers. I have had these for years. Like the other ones, this as well. But in my past, I've had polyester ones, and my mum has feathers, like goose and that. So I mean, my mum, I don't know, her house is really clean, so I've never had why have I had these, do you mean? Or why did I have feathers, or why did I have polyester in the past? Like I worked as a bed specialist selling these things, and I learnt about these being really good. So that's why I bought these, because you know I've got two. They last for years. Why means why. Oh, you said I don't know why people like fellow pillows. They smell. Didn't I read that out right? Sorry if I didn't. A hotel I stayed at had feather ones, and pillows weren't comfy, and they were heavy. Because you said you when I typed Y. Oh, right. Okay, I said I don't know. I don't know why you people. I said, all right. I don't know why people. Okay, I get you now. Sorry. They smell. Oh, yeah. I mean, I understand what you mean by the smell. But the ones that my parents don't smell, which is good. But I have been on ones that do smell as well. Talking about smelly pillows now is a world coming to. But yeah, so I know my preference is always latex. I don't get on with memory foam. It's too hard for me. If I was to have I don't have a memory foam bed though. I have a pocket sprung bed because foam's just too hard for me. This would be solid bed like this would just be too. This would be better, the latex than the memory foam, but a solid bed of foam for me is way too hard for me. With my fibre, I have to have a soft bed. Yeah, I sleep on top of my bed as well because I can't really sleep in my bed much because it hurts my back. Hurts me more sleeping underneath the duvet than it does on top of the duvet. Joys of fibro, hey. But yeah, so but I have pillows because these are good for alignment of the spine and actually are better for the neck. But yeah, I had a memory foam pillow and that had a roll under the neck. I was advised by a physio and it just hurt more and made it worse. And I sold that. And then I got this afterwards. But if I was personally having a foam bed, I couldn't have an all foam one. I'd have to have pocket sprungs and layer of foam on top. I couldn't just have foam because for me it's too hard. Mum's allergic to birds, so she had to get a non-feather pillow from the hotel. Why do hotels use something people can be allergic to? So I guess because it's in a covering, they might think it's fine, and they don't cater. Some hotels don't cater for allergies, do they? Either. Do you know what I mean? Some hotels are independently run. Some hotels are by a chain. And there's, I don't think there's any specifications that they have to go by saying, if people are allergic. But obviously, usually there's covers as well over the pillows. I mean, I'm allergic to wool, but there's still wool in my bed because that's what makes it hot usually is the fillings. So the wool wool can be naturally hot in summer and cool in winter. Cool in summer and hot in winter. Yeah. I said that the wrong way round to begin with. Go against the hotel industry. I mean, when I go, I actually do sleep on a memory foam mattress or foam mattress. I don't know if it's memory foam, but yeah, I sleep on I stay in travel lodges and stuff like that. So when I sleep in travel lodges or Premier Inns in the UK, they have foam mattresses. So I have actually slept on foam. I don't know what type of foam it is. She checked the pillows and found out it was feathers. Did she have an allergic reaction to it though, or was she okay with it? Because like I said, my bed has wool in it, but I'm allergic to wool. But I've got so much on top of it. I've got a mattress protector on top of it, which usually hotels should have a mattress protector. So they should really have pillow protectors as well, these things. So it's not coming into contact with your actual skin. And then yeah, so I have been in ones with slept on foam beds, but you can actually buy the mattresses that are in some of the hotels in the UK. You can actually buy them. They're especially made for hotels, but you can buy that. You can buy one like it. Read text above that one. She didn't know they were feather filled until she put her head on it and got a rash. Oh, sorry. Eek. She checked the pillows and found out it was feathers. Sorry, I missed that out. Oh yeah, that's not good. If I wear wool, I get a rash, so I can't wear wool. My mum, however, did once buy me a wool coat, despite the fact I'm allergic to wool. And I'm like, Mum, do you realise I'm allergic to wool? She forgot. I don't know how she can forget, but you can, because I mean, she used to have ME, my mum, so that can affect the memory anyway. Oh, that's horrible. Yeah, I can't wear wool. I can't wear wool socks. I can't wear a wool jumper or anything like that. This makes me itch all the time. And I'm like, get away from me. So, yeah, I do have on my bed, I have a waterproof mattress protector. So again, the wool can't touch me. And I have a mattress topper on there that's polyester. And mattress protector. So I don't have to worry about her stealing my black country hat because it's 100% wool. Oh, bless. I'm really sorry she got a rash. It's horrible. I get rashes over berries. I can't eat berries. I love berries, but they don't like me. Strange what we can be allergic to, isn't it? I guess that's the same with different cultures as well. Talking about multicultural, you might be allergic to some stuff that they naturally eat. Like, I can't. Although I love Indian guys, like a lot of the food I can't even have because I've got multiple food allergies. I'm like, how does that even work? Sad. Berries are yummy. Yeah, I got allergic to raspberries, strawberries, blueberries. And 5 years ago, because I had a picture on Facebook, my lips swelled up like Nutty Professor. I don't know if I can get the picture up actually to show you, but it was a delayed reaction. It didn't happen the same day. It happened the night after, the evening after. It was really, really weird. It was really weird. I don't know if I can find it on Facebook actually. Let me see if I can find it on Facebook in my pictures. It's not a very flattering picture. It's a really horrible picture, but I was going to see if I can find it. Let me try and get through it quickly. Oh, yeah, I did a video the other day. It's going off topic of some swans with their little babies. Look at that. It's so cute. That's near where I live. Look at that. I did a quick live stream. Look at that. Look at the little swans. Aren't they cute? They're so cute. My life loved the swans. Yeah, they're beautiful. Look at the babies. I love them so much. I can't believe it. I thought, what a miracle. Absolute miracle, isn't it? Look at the gorgeous babies. And then, where was? Oh, and there was a pink sky as well. Look at that pink sky. Some beautiful, beautiful things in life at the moment. We need to focus on beauty at the moment as well. Nice, positive stuff. Look at the pink, gorgeous sky that's round the back. Sorry, what was I doing? Oh my god, yeah. Mum can't have dairy. I can't have dairy. Corn, I can eat corn still. Wheat, can't have wheat because lupus, and can't have grapes. I can't have grapes either. I can't have grapes because they're moldy and they're like fermented. So I can't have them either. I get low or blood sugar. I don't know what's what. I get low blood sugar as well. I get low blood sugar and low blood pressure. I get just like crazy. So I get really dizzy sometimes with low blood pressure. My family, most of them have high blood pressure, and I get low blood pressure, which makes you dizzy. Oh, here's what I wanted to show you. This is what strawberries does to me. It's not a pretty sight. I'll warn you. Look, that is what strawberries does to me. But that wasn't the day I had the strawberries. That was the evening afterwards. So I went to work And then after 6 o'clock, it started ballooning up like that. Look at it. I just look like the Nutty Professor with his great big lips. Look at it. State of it. It's just horrible. You know, but I actually love the taste of strawberries, but then even my uncle's actually allergic to strawberries, though. That's I'm eating strawberries. Usually I get a rash on my hand or arm. So I did actually eat some strawberries. I don't usually, but it was a Devon County show, which is what. Oh no, strawberries are so good. That's sad. Yeah, exactly. I can't eat them. So when I go to the Devon County show, which my dad used to get me a free ticket, they have these little punnets of strawberries, like the ones that are chopped in half, the little ones with the clotted cream. Now I'm allergic to dairy, but for some reason I can actually eat clotted cream and not really get that much affected by it. Or occasionally at Christmas I can have like single cream and I don't get affected. I don't really understand how, because I'm lactose intolerant and not good with dairy. But anyway, the Devon County show, I can have a few strawberries that are cut into little bits with clotted cream. And so a lot of it's taken my clotted cream, half of the little punnet. And that particular year, when my face swelled up, I'd had 3 of those punnets. Now, that isn't even equivalent, I don't think, to a whole punnet of strawberries, you know, like one you buy in a supermarket. It might be, but it was 3 little ones with clotted cream. So I don't know how many strawberries you get that, probably 8 or something. I don't know, cut up with clotted cream, I don't know. So it might be 16 strawberries, I guess. But I did have 3 lots. And when I had 3 lots, that's what happened. So I have been to Devon County show since and had them. But I don't only have it there. I don't have strawberries the rest of the year. Oh, and she can't have small seeds because of a digestive thing. I think it's tied to lupus. I've got a digestive problem. I have to take digestive aid for it. You should digestive enzymes 2 every morning because I can't eat my food else. I can't like eat food normally. It's no good for me. So just like to live, I have to take 6 kelp every day for a thyroid problem. Every single day of my life for the rest of my life before I eat anything, 6 kelp. And I have to have 2 digestive enzymes before I eat anything when I wake up. Just to live and eat, because the kelp is for thyroid. And I have them in place of hormone replacement therapy. So I have they're a natural product, but they're a lot of money. And I have to have digestive aid, they're enzymes. So that's so I can eat my food properly. I was on 8 tablets a day from the doctor, and he said I can't do anything more for you. You're going to have this problem for the rest of your life. And I was like having pain every time I ate and other problems, which are quite gross to mention on here. So I will refrain from doing that. And so, yeah, I worked out 2 enzymes. I came off 8 tablets a day from the doctor, but I have to have 2 enzymes before I eat anything, just so I can eat my food properly and live. So just to live, I have to have kelp and digestive enzymes. I have to pay for them. My friend did buy me some, which really, really, really helped me out. They bought me like a month's supply, which is so kind of them. Well, over a month's supply, actually. It was 1 digestive enzyme bottle and 4 kelp. I've only got like 1. I've got under 2 left now. So her restricted diet isn't good because A, poor, B, she has low blood sugar, can't eat too much red meat either because lupus. It's insane. So I've got similar problems to your mum, because I don't eat red meat, but I gave that up. And I get low blood sugar, and my diet's very, very restrictive as to what I can eat. So I can't have wheat, gluten, yeast, spelt. Can't have spelt. I'm allergic to spelt, the alternative to wheat. Can't have I'm allergic to monosodium glutamate. Sugar, the worst allergy to wheat, sugar, monosodium glutamate, and spelt are my fault on allergies. Obviously, I'm allergic to strawberries, as you can see. And raspberries, blueberries. Can't have apples either. Can't have grapes. Can't have yeast. Can't have soya sauce because that's brewed, fermented. Can't have that. Grapes are really bad for me. So they're fermented. I can't have anything. I had some bars my mum got me with some grapes in there, like health bars, and it just made me ill. My stomach's really pounding after I had a couple of them. So yeah, I've sympathised with your mum quite a lot, you know, and I don't know if it's because I got fibro that I've got, but I had all these food allergies before fibro, pretty much. So I'm lucky because nearly all the allergies I have are foods you can't eat with fibro that actually make you have less energy. So I've got more energy because I don't eat the sugar. Sugar is the worst thing for zapping your energy. People think, I need sugar in my tea to make me energetic. Most people are allergic to sugar and don't realise it. And they mistake that for things like chronic fatigue syndrome because they don't realise they've got a sugar allergy and they don't get checked out by a homeopath for that, you know? So they keep getting tired because they keep eating the wrong things. And also wheat makes you tighter. Wheat is so bad for fibre, and I'm so allergic to it, I can't have it. So I was blessed really with loads of allergies that aren't suitable for fibre. You know, that all the foods that I'm allergic to, the majority of them, not berries. Like berries are meant to be very good for you at killing antioxidants, and that antioxidant they're killing. Sorry, the antioxidant which kills free radicals in your body. That's what I meant to say, not kills antioxidants. They are antioxidants. No more corn with food now. I don't eat much corn stuff. So my life, when I was younger, dairy gave me night terrors, and corn and food dye made me sugar hyper. My dad snuck fed me small amounts of food with corn in it, and in 6th grade could finally start eating more food with corn in it. Now I have no limits except bananas, and can't have much dairy, because it went from too much being lactose intolerant to the opposite. If I eat too much bananas, affect me the same way. It's sad because I love bananas, and now I have to avoid them. Bananas naturally lower blood pressure as well, I found out. So if you have high blood pressure, bananas lower it. So for me, I've got low blood pressure, and at one point I was eating, I know we've gone completely off the topic of intercultural relationships, never mind for anyone who's just tuned in. So basically I found out through reading lots of online health blogs and stuff that bananas lower blood pressure naturally. So instead of having blood pressure tablets, you could try having bananas. Obviously you can't, my life, because you can't eat them, but to lower blood pressure. Whereas with me, I get low blood pressure. I was eating the bananas and apple bars all the time. I was eating loads of them. I thought these are really tasty. And obviously the bananas got sugar in them, with natural sugar, which can be good for energy. And I didn't realise it was lowering my blood sugar, so I stopped eating them. And then my blood pressure still gave me it gave me sugar, but natural sugar, but not, anyway. So lower my blood pressure, and I'm like, I had to stop eating them. And then I read up about it. So if people have got high blood pressure, they can take that as a natural form of lowering the blood pressure. Bananas. Potassium is supposed to be really good if you can have bananas, that is. But for me, there's too much sugar in bananas most of the time anyway. I don't understand that. Sorry, but like, how in God's name did I go from lactose intolerant to the opposite reaction? I ate woman and there, can't go. I hate that. That is very strange, my life. You've gone from lactose intolerant to the opposite reaction. I don't actually understand that. Because I know some people can recover from their allergies. Like my mum had ME, which she considered herself recovered from now. Doesn't have it anymore, and she can eat wheat for years in bread. She can have bread for years, and she can eat bread now. She has toast every day, and it doesn't affect her. So it used to make her really tired and ill wheat, but now she can eat. But I've got worse with my sugar allergy. If someone put sugar, for example, by accident in my food, like someone did in a London restaurant I usually go to, but they got a different chef, and they put in the curry paste. I went back and said, because what happened was I went on the bus, and everything started spinning, and it was like I was on a ship rocking, and it was like, whoa, this is really weird. And I was like, really felt like I was on a seasick. I went to the hotel, and I was messaging my friend at the time. I was like, I've got to go to bed. And then I went back the next day, and they put sugar in the curry paste. So I've got worse with my allergies, not, because some people, they say, oh, you can eat after a while. It's like, no, with me, I got more and more allergies popping out on top. I know. Luckily, with the dairy option, I can eat lots of milk chocolate, but limited to eating when it's dark chocolate. That's very interesting. Milk, though, too much milk or cheese, and I can't go. I love cheese like a lot. Oh, I don't have any cheese. I haven't had cheese for years. I'm dairy and lactose intolerant. I don't have lactose milk either. I have soya milk, so I don't have any lactose usually. If I have sweets that my mum gets me, the sugar-free, wheat-free, gluten-free, some of them have milk, and my tummy's really bad afterwards. I like them, they taste nice, just I got bad tummy after them because my stomach can't take the thing. You inhale cheese. I can't have any cheese stuff. I can't, like crisps, I can only have plain crisps as well, ready sort of crisp, because monosodium glutamate is in usually the majority of flavoured crisps. There's a few it isn't, but the majority, that's what helps to make the flavour. It's derived from wheat. MSG is derived from wheat. So if you're allergic to wheat, you shouldn't be eating MSG. Very bad for you. They put it in Chinese food and stuff like that. So if I ever have a Chinese, I have to make sure they leave it out. But it's a thickener for Chinese and takeaways and stuff like that. So yeah. But I guess this is how I guess it works into the multicultural thing, is that a lot of the stuff I'm allergic to are things they eat in Indian culture. I like Indian guys, but I can't have a lot of the foods they eat. It's like kind of crazy. It's like Amit was on here today and yesterday, and Amit's like, oh, if I ever meet you, I'll cook you a pizza. And I thought it was so sweet of them to say that. The gesture's really loved, and I love that so much. But like, I can't eat pizza. I didn't like pizza when I could eat wheat stuff years ago. I hate pizza bread. I can't stand it. I always hated pizza. I just can't stand the bread even. But, you know, I thought the gestures though, but it's like with Indian food, I can't eat much of it because a lot of it is made with wheat. Not all, but a lot of it is made with wheat. Even the Indian rice in my supermarket's got like cardamom pods in. I think I'm allergic to cardamom pods. Either cardamom pods or bay leaf, because they come out in a rash on my arms with it. I used to hate yogurt. Now I love it, but only if it's strawberry. Every other yogurt is like yuck. I can't eat yogurt. It's fermented. I forgot it was fermented. And a couple of years ago, I had some natural yogurt. Oh my God, my stomach was in agony. I'm like, you should never be eating that. Taste buds are weird. Exactly. But obviously, going back to the multicultural relationship thing, which is what I was originally talking about, you know, people can have different food tastes. Like, I would love to be able to eat Indian food, but it's just I can't have it. So if I get with a foreign guy who's very good at cooking, he's going to have to cook me some very unusual things that are very different to his own culture. Do you know what I mean? Which I don't mind cooking for myself and him cooking for himself, as long as he cleans up after himself. But you know what I mean? I can't eat a lot of the stuff that they eat, unfortunately. I can eat Chinese more than I can eat Indian food, that is. You know what I mean? But I actually think Indian guys obviously are the most beautiful, but I do think Chinese guys are cute as well, but not as beautiful as Indian guys. My boyfriend loves meat, hates veggies, and I love veggies, and I'm highly picky with meat and don't eat a lot of it. Yeah, I don't eat. I only eat chicken, fish, usually, and a bit of turkey at Christmas. That's it. I don't eat any pork, lamb, or beef. I haven't had that since I was about 15 years old, I think it was. So I haven't ate any of that. I don't like it. I don't like the smell. I don't like the taste. I prefer to be with a guy who didn't eat red meat either, or was a vegetarian, really, even though I'm not vegetarian. And I can't be vegetarian. Because with the way my health is, I actually saw a nutritionist and I have to eat more protein. Because of, you know, the restricted diet I have to have anyway. And I can't have like a lot of vegetable stuff has got a lot of vegetable alternatives. I've got wheating. So I can't have wheat. Do you know what I mean? You mostly eat birds. I mostly eat fish. Not shellfish. I don't like shellfish either. So it's just like fish. Mackerel I have to eat loads of for my health. So luckily his favourite meat is turkey. Oh, that's lucky. Yeah. So are you both different cultures, my life? You and your boyfriend? Are you both different cultures or the same sort of culture? I know you're different religions, aren't you? But different cultures as well, are you? So it's very interesting when you look into different cultures, isn't it? How different people have different tastes and things. But I think, like, you know, as long as you've got good communication skills and you're willing to accept each other for who the other person is and help each other along the way, I think it's like important for relationship happiness. He's from Oklahoma and moved here. I'm from New York. Oh, wow. Yeah, because he's a country guy, isn't he? And you're a city girl. Is that, well, sorry, you don't identify as a girl, do you? You're non-binary. You're a city person and they are a country guy. Is that right? He was raised full country. I was raised slightly country, but mostly outdoors and city-ish. It's really interesting because I was raised out in the country, but yeah, I'm a city girl. This is what I mean. I'm so different to my own family culture. I completely love the city. I would never ever want to live out in the countryside. I love where I live, because as you've seen with the swans near where I live, I've got a little bit of countryside in my city near where I live, 5 minutes from where I live. I've got beautiful riverside, quayside. It's gorgeous there with ducks and swans and geese whenever I want, 5 minutes away from where I live. So that's why I don't want to move. That's why I want to find a guy who'll move to live near me, because I love where I live. It's very beautiful, you know. But you know, I live in like the downtown part of the city, so I'm not in the city centre where I live, so it's good. So I'm a country/nature person at heart. I feel like I was cheated out of my childhood by not being raised 100% country. Oh, I hated being in the country. I think we've had this conversation before, haven't we, in my life, if I remember, that you really love the country and I don't like it at all. I don't like living there. It's totally wrong for me. You know, like, you feel cheated out of the childhood by not being raised in the country. For me, it was very lonely living in the countryside. Very, very lonely. Very, very isolated. Very horrible in comparison to the city. I should, you know, in terms of my personality, I'm really suited to the city. So I'm glad now I'm older that I can go to the city. So, but you know, you would have lived, if you'd have lived in the country, you would have lived with you and your mum in the country, wouldn't you? How would that have worked? Because your mum's a bit sometimes controlling, isn't she? And if you had no transport to get around, how would that work? Because when I lived in the country, I didn't have my own transport. I had to rely on my parents. I like taking the dogs out for a walk, though, up the country lanes. That was a good thing. And I did like riding my bike then in the country. So it was two good things. And I liked swinging in the swings. So it was a local campsite, and I used to go there was like a woods. We used to go in the slides and the swings near the woods near the campsite. So there's some good things about the countryside. It wasn't all horrible. Walks were quite nice. Unfortunately, Texas and New York don't have non-binary as a gender marker option. If I was in the countryside, I'd have places to go to get away from mum. Oh, right, okay. I feel the opposite. Like, when I'm in the city, like, I'm so glad because I've got my independence now. Like, I can go where I want, when I want. I can go out to the cinema, out to a club whenever I want. I can take off on the train. Well, I mean, obviously not at the moment because we've still got lockdown restrictions. But I mean, usually I could go jump on a train, jump on a bus, wherever I want to go. There's even a plane. Well, there's even like a plane. I don't go on a plane, you know. So it's easy access for me everywhere. I've got a little bit of countryside in the city, but I'm totally independent. When I lived with my parents, it's like I had to rely on them if I wanted to go anywhere. I wasn't allowed out on my own to a certain age, which is fair enough for safety. At least 10 years old, I think it was. I couldn't go out on my own, which I do understand. I'm glad that they were careful of my safety, because even out in the countryside, you know, you can get obviously people out there that are not good. And you know, you're more likely to be, you know, when you're on your own, you're more likely to be able to get lost, or people pick you up and strangers do things to you, in some ways. So, you know, and I think there's benefits of being in the city in terms of, like, if you want to have pets and take dogs for walks and stuff like that. But for me, city life all the way, because I felt like I didn't have any independence. I was very isolated. I was an only child. I didn't like living out in the countryside. It's boring for me. Got nothing to do. Apart from take the dogs for a walk was good and play on the swings. Those are my two good things. Get your dogs for a walk, play on the swings, and do my bicycle all the time. I can't ride a bicycle now because obviously my fibromyalgia, my leg's the worst affected area. But so yeah, I used to like playing on the bike, and I used to go for walks with some friends a friend if I had a friend over. But I used to like taking the dogs for a walk. That was nice. But yeah, so I find it very isolating when you rely on your parents as well. Even more when you live in the countryside, whatever they say goes. You know, you can't go out the house unless they say so, really. Do you know what I mean? So it's kind of like, you know, and having to rely on, if you don't drive, you're having to rely on your parents to take you everywhere. It's not much fun. Like, you know, if you're in a city and you're brought up in the city, you can actually go places yourself. My life, he's mostly a cat person but likes dogs. I'm mostly a cat person but like dogs and plan to get one. Mum's allergic to dogs, so I never grew up with one. Oh, it's really interesting because my best female friend, who's not asexual, she has been told by a doctor that one of her allergies is basically dog hairs, pet hair. But she's moved home and she lives with her partner who already had a dog. And she says she don't have any problems with the dog. It's really, she said, because the house is so clean, and where she lived before was really, the guy she lived with was a really nice, kind guy to her, but the place was very mouldy before. So that affected her health, her respiratory, respiratory system. But yeah, she was actually told she's allergic to dog hair, basically pet hair. But yet she lives with a guy and his dog, who's an Alsatian, so quite hairy, and she doesn't have a problem, which is quite a miracle. We were when we were video chatting on Monday this week, a few days ago. Yeah. So that was very interesting. And she wasn't really that much of a dog person, but she gets on really well with the dog and loves it. She buys it gifts now and stuff, so that's nice. So, they are both UK British born, but they still got some different background. My life. I recently found out my boyfriend and I both aren't really that religious, but both believe in God. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. I was explaining earlier that even within your own country, you can have very different culture. Do you know what I mean? Like someone from the south of the UK can be very different to someone from the north of the UK. I was born up north, but I moved down south. My parents moved down as 1.5, but I've still got some stuff that I know the northern people say that the south people don't talk like that, One of my friends years ago, she used to find it difficult to understand what my parents were saying because of their accent, bless them. But, my parents are very like the country. They live in a town now, but they very much love the country. They're very much into country life. They like the quiet, peaceful country life. I'm like, oh my god. But where I live now is really peaceful, actually. My life, we're both stubborn and we both have messy spaces. But for me, it's different reasons. I have OCPD. So if something in my life is off or out of order or I'm depressed, I won't tend to things. Oh, obsessive compulsive something disorder. I can't remember what the P stands for. That's interesting. Yeah, how do you work out the stubbornness in your relationship then? Because if you're both stubborn, how does one give to the other, if you know what I mean? Because having two people that are stubborn, because I'm Taurus in star sign, which is supposed to be very, very stubborn. I think I've mellowed out a bit to what I used to be. My life, I found out that I have severe depression, but my mood changes throughout the day. Obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Oh, right. Okay. Thank you for reminding me. I forgot. All right. We aren't that stubborn towards each other. That's good. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, stubbornness can be used in a good way. Like if you've got a project that you want to do and if you're stubborn, like I'm not going to not do it. Like I was really happy. I was very stubborn yesterday through to the day before. I didn't sleep on Wednesday night at all because I was busy doing lots of work that I needed to do that I hadn't been able to do. That I kept saying, oh, I don't think I'm going to be able to get through all this work. And then I just did everything. I did 3 blog posts, 2 newsletters, including the 7 steps to getting started with asexual dating. Obviously, I did the live stream yesterday on it, but I did a whole blog post on it step by step. So yeah, I did that, and I did 2 other blog posts on my other blogs. So I got 2 other blogs, and I did 2 newsletters, and I was on streaming for 2 hours 19 minutes, and I managed to get loads of inspirational posts lined up for all my pages. I got about 16 Facebook pages, 3 of which are asexual pages, by the way, and for my groups, and 5 asexual groups I have. So yeah, so I got a lot of work done, and I'm glad. I let myself go to sleep until I got it done. By the way, I'm that sign and he's that sign. What does that mean? I can't work out what it means. I know, is that to do with horoscopes or something else? While he dropped off the gifts and talked, he found out my fear of any bee that isn't a bumblebee, honeybee, or ground bee. Oh, well, it's good that he notices these things about you. It's a very good relationship, isn't it? Like, you've got that understanding between each other. So it's very, very good. Yeah, it's interesting when we talk about relationships to hear how people are getting on in their relationship and the differences, but you're still doing really well together and still love and care about each other. He's afraid of Pisces and Cancer. That's very interesting. My parents are Pisces, but I'm a Taurian, which is supposed to go with Virgo and Capricorn the most. Earth signs. But I've had both. I've had Capricorn. I've had both a Capricorn and Virgo boyfriend. Long-term relationships, but neither of them worked out. Neither of the guys were very good for me. But I was with them long-term. I was with the Capricorn for nearly 6 years. No, 7 years. 6 years, 10 months. And I was with the Virgo for 8.5 years in total. So, yeah. He was afraid of spiders. Unfortunately, I can't have any tarantulas in my future and tiny house for my critter. Unfortunately, I can't have any tarantulas in my future tiny house for my critters. Oh, he's afraid. Yeah, I don't like spiders. Oh my god, I had such a shock. I don't know if I should be talking about spiders because if I talk about them, I start seeing them. But I was in my shower the other day. Just I was showering, already started showering. And then all of a sudden, oh my god, it just freaks me out. I get so freaked out. Sometimes I scream with spiders, and literally, I look down, near my foot. Thank God it was a little way from my foot, only a little way. There was this massive, massive, huge spider in the shower. The water had already started running, but this huge fat body, and I couldn't. I'm sorry, but I had to not let it live anymore. I know people are going to hate me who love spiders. I just can't stand them. I was literally physically shaking. I was physically shaking like this. It's horrible. I had to get rid of it. I'm like, I don't know where the hell that came from. It was nearly the size of the palm of my hand. It was massive. Oh, it was horrible. And I had to clean the area. I want to try and get a giant isopod. What's an isopod? Is that a type of spider, or is that a type of something else? An isopod. I don't know what an isopod is, but it sounds very interesting. My life. What's an isopod? I could Google it, but I expect you're going to tell me in a minute. So yeah, but it's very interesting, like I said with this video about multiculturals, like sometimes even people in your own country can be very different as well. But obviously, you said that he was born in the countryside and you were born in the city, so that's very interesting. But you love the countryside, so I think that's good that you've got someone from the countryside. Isopod, pill bugs, sow bugs, and other things are in the isopod family. Oh right, okay. That's interesting. Very, very interesting. Oh, I'm really, really glad you get on so well, even though you've got like differences that you can work through together and still love each other and be very caring. It's very important, very important. He's mostly a cat person but likes dogs, and you're mostly a cat person. He's mostly a cat person but likes dogs. I'm mostly a cat person but like dogs and plan to get one. So you're both cat people, are you? Because you've written he's mostly a cat person but likes dogs. I'm mostly a cat person but like dogs and plan to get one. Your mum's allergic to dogs. Yeah. He's a plant person. I'm a critter person but semi into plants. Yes. Oh, you're both into cats. That's why I was thinking it's strange you didn't get a cat if you're both into cats. My favourite animal, despite being a cat person, is the wolf. Oh, yeah. And my friend's dog, like Ray, who sometimes comes and chat, his dog looks like a wolf. He's got a husky dog. As you know, you've met Ray in chat. Yeah, Ray's dog's beautiful, like a wolf. So it's really, really nice. Oh, it's very interesting to see how a relationship works. It's got different aspects, almost opposites attract in certain ways, but then you obviously got lots in common in other ways. So I'm glad that your boyfriend's really good about your obsessive compulsive personality disorder as well. I mean, I always say there's someone for everyone, because sometimes with people with disabilities, obviously I have a disability myself because I got fibromyalgia. Sometimes people with disabilities or mental health difficulties, find it hard to get someone for a relationship. But there's someone for everyone out there. No one's perfect. We all have our issues and our problems and things that we're not so good at and not so great at. So it's all about working together and appreciating the other one. I plan to get a Tamascan. They're same size as and look like wolves, but are 100% wolf. Only possible percentage of wolf is maybe 1 to 2%. Oh, is this to do with the dog you want to get? So you want to get a dog that's a Tamascan, is that right? And they're same size as wolves and look like wolves, but are 100% wolf. Only possible. Oh, that'd be really good, my life, if you got a dog that looked like a wolf, wouldn't it? I know that would make you really happy. I think that'd be really nice for you. I like eels, but I haven't got a donkey. I did used to have. My dad used to work at a place that did used to have 2 resident donkeys, like it was a caravan site, an entertainment site, and they used to have 2 donkeys in the field all the time. That's why I grew to love donkeys. So yeah, I love donkeys, and Donkey Sanctuary in the UK is really nice to visit as well. It's free, actually. Usually, obviously, can't visit at the moment. But yeah, that's really good, my life. I'm so glad to hear it get on well. I don't know what he has. I haven't asked because I don't want to seem like I'm prying. I'm very open with people about what I have so I can help educate. Fully texted out. I have ADHD, OCPD, PTSD, and anxiety. So I know ADHD, yeah, I knew someone with that. OCPD, post-traumatic stress disorder and anxiety, depression as well. Yeah, I think it's quite common if you've got post-traumatic stress disorder to have anxiety and depression as well, isn't it? Because obviously post-traumatic stress disorder is from past stressful events. And you usually get anxiety over certain situations that present themselves relating to those past stressful events, and can get depressed as well. Dependent personality disorder, which is caused by the mixing of ADHD and OCPD. Oh, right, that's where the that's where the dependent bit comes from. Dependent personality disorder, which is caused by the mixing of ADHD and OCPD. I have several things that go along with all of those. Right. But your boyfriend seems really loving and caring towards you, despite all of that, I think it's lovely. You do seem a lot happier when you come in messages as well. You seem a lot more happier and about your life in general, because you've kind of got a plan now of what you want to do with your boyfriend. You've kind of got some kind of future, I think, fixed more like in your mind. I think it's good that your mum is starting to come around more to his family, even if she isn't totally there yet. She's still skeptical, obviously, which I guess if she's had issues from her own past, then she's probably going to be skeptical. Do you know what I mean? I think it's just natural defense mechanism, especially when, she cares about you so much. Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just think everything's looking really good for you. I'm really proud of you. I'm really pleased for you, because I remember I followed your journey quite a bit, and I remember you're kind of unsure more of yourself before, but I think you're more sure of yourself now, aren't you, as well? I sadly will have to cut her out of my life. You'll have to cut her out of your life. I think you said to me you didn't want to cut her out of your life, didn't you? completely, because you do still want her in your life at some point or in some way. Is that right? I mean, I think she has to accept you for who you are, doesn't she? You know, because she's going to lose you if she doesn't. But I think, you know, hopefully she'll come round. You know, hopefully she'll come round and everything will be good for you. You know, some people change, you know, even people that are older change sometimes. They have to do it on their own accord when they're ready. You know, you can't kind of make these people change. They have to change off their own back. So, yeah. But I think you seem to be a lot more settled and secure in yourself as well as with your boyfriend, and kind of got your future more planned out. Am I right about that? So you seem like more like you're more comfortable with yourself now. I think you've worked on yourself quite a bit as well. And she said, if you ever move in with your boyfriend before getting married, I'm never talking to you again. Oh, well, that's her choice, isn't it? I think personally, I've said it before on this channel, I'll say it again, even though loads of people who are religious might hate me for saying it, is that I always think you should live with someone before marrying them. Always. Me and my boyfriend are working on plans for the future. I think you should always live with someone before getting married, because people can change when you live with them. Like, my ex has changed when I live with them. And if I'd have been married to them, I'd been stuck with them. I'm not saying your boyfriend's like them. I'm just saying that, you know, I would always think it's best to try it out before actually getting married. I know lots of people who are religious don't agree with that for religious reasons, but I personally would always, I don't want to live with anyone anyway, but if I did live with someone, I don't want to get married either. I don't want to live with someone or get married. But if I was to get married, I'd want to live with the person first to know that I could live with them and compatible on a day-to-day basis. It's very different seeing someone a few times a week but going back to your own home than it is actually living with them. I personally don't get on with living with someone because I live such a different lifestyle, you know? So he said, if I can sleep over on occasion after quarantine is over. That's nice. Yeah, I bet he's really missing you. He's probably realised that he really wants that warmth of you next to him, isn't he? You know, I think that's what a lot of people will realise in this, after this lockdown. You know, I think people will realise their relationship is really good, and it's getting better, or, you know, there's some issues that crop up they need to sort out. Do you know what I mean? So, we both really want to cuddle. Oh, that's so sweet. It is difficult. I mean, I want to kiss, but I can't kiss until the clubs come open. I don't have a boyfriend. I just want to go clubbing and kiss a few guys because I don't have a boyfriend. But I can't do that for a very long time because the clubs are not going to be open for quite some time. And when they do, obviously, I've got to be very careful because my own health's got to come first before kissing a guy. So at the moment, I'm trying to detoxify myself from dating. So I haven't been actively looking for relationships since the 14th of May. Like I haven't been on, when I say actively, like I haven't been on mingle2.com, which is a dating site that isn't for asexual, since the 14th of May. I'm keeping off there. I did actually go in a dating group yesterday, though. I had a quick look in one of the dating groups, someone in Facebook. I started reading some of them posts, but I was more interested, like they had this post about where people have sex outdoors. I'm like, do I really want to know this information? Some of it is very shocking because most of it is sexuals in that group, and I'm like, oh my god, this is very shocking. But we both want to cuddle. People, I can't do long distance me, ha. Guess people, I can't do long distance me, ha. Guess I'm a god then. Oh, bless you. Yeah, but you can see you can see your boyfriend though, don't you? Like it's hard to do long distance, but I'm surviving. Yeah, I think like with me, I don't want to be doing long distance in another country. Do you know what I mean? Like, true is strong. But you live in the same country though, don't you? And you said your boyfriend gave you some things, so I'm guessing you must have met up with your boyfriend for him to give you those plants and things. Is that right? So you must have seen him, I'm guessing. But like, you know, I think you're doing really well. There's a lot of people that are doing well. Same state, yeah. So, for example, with me, I could do a long distance relationship if it was in the UK, but I wouldn't want to do a long distance relationship if we lived in another country. 11 minutes away. Well, there you go then. That's not long distance in sense of distance. Long distance is someone who's miles away that you would have to travel a few hours to go and see. But I think you mean the fact that it's the fact that you can't actually see each other at the moment. Is that right? Because 11 minutes away is not what I would call long distance. I would call that living very close to each other. We only met twice in real life during quarantine so far. Yeah. So I think that's what you mean by not long distance as in 11 minutes away, because that's not long distance, but you mean as in the long time of distance being apart physically. I think that's what you mean. Yeah. Because personally, I wouldn't want to do a long distance relationship with someone in another country or someone I could never see. Yeah. So, you know what I mean? It's like I got an Indian guy, I think I told you, on Facebook earlier, who messaged me, you know, an Indian guy who's asexual in India. I mean, that's great, but it's no good to me, is it? Do you know what I mean? It's like no good relationship wise, but it's nice of them to say hi to me. I'm Ace, how are you? It's nice, but it's like, yeah, you're in India again. Do you know what I mean? I can't be with an Indian guy who's actually in India. I need an Indian guy in this country, in the UK. My life, I got used to it since half my dating life was with people online. Ah, right, okay. I've never actually had a long distance relationship per se. Like, well, I had a very short long distance relationship with someone in the UK, but I never actually met the person. It was only for a month. I never met the person in real life. It didn't work out. So I guess you could say that was long distance. But they were in the same country as me. But since I know him in real life, it's hard. Yeah, I mean, obviously, you know, he's not too far away, only 11 minutes. I presume you're video chatting as well. Like, I'm video chatting with my friends or phoning them up on the phone when I can. But I've got loads of work to do at the moment, despite being the lockdown stuff. I've got so much work to do. Doing a course at the moment online. So it's kind of like I've got a lot of stuff to do. I've got a lot of stuff I need to get done by September. Tons of it. 3 different businesses I'm launching, as well as finishing my asexual stuff off I'm doing. I've got my Asexual Guide to Sex book I've got to get finished. I have to work on that next month and the month after. But I've got at the moment, first of all, my asexual meetup mastery and my asexual how to arrange a successful online asexual meetup courses. I'm just working out how to do the sales pages of the content for them at the moment. And I've got a booking course to help with that and other businesses in the future. But yeah, those will be launched soon. So that's my first thing. And I've got to go back to another business and stuff that's got to finish, got nothing to do with asexuality, that I was kind of doing. I've been doing like the one business thing, then I went off to do the asexual courses. And then I went to back to the other business thing because I was doing 2 courses for that. And I've gone back to the asexual stuff for now. So it's like I need to finish it all. My life, I can't video chat or voice chat unless mum leaves, or if it's rare times late at night, texting responses. Oh, that's yeah, that's not good, is it? That's difficult. Oh man, that's quite hard. Yeah. Oh yeah, because I forget people have a lack of privacy at the moment, don't they? I still don't want my mum to know we text, let alone the fact I text, because she'd be going through my phone. Oh, I see what you mean. She thinks we communicate through a teacher we both have. Oh, right, okay. Wow. Surprised your mum hasn't worked out through the phone. I guess some people older don't work this stuff out, but yeah. I would think it's pretty obvious if someone's got a boyfriend, they've been messaging you on their phone. Do you know what I mean? I think it's pretty obvious in this day and age. Do you know what I mean? But yeah. So, but yeah, it's a shame you have to do that, really. It must be very difficult for you. I forget that a lot of people that live at home with their parents, especially those who aren't out about being asexual, have got no privacy at the moment. It's very difficult for them. You know, it's very difficult for people who live at home with their parents who are asexual, who want to talk to their asexual friends, that they're not out about being asexual. Maybe they talk to their asexual friends when you know, when their parents are out or at work and they can't do that at the moment, so they're even more like isolated than normal. I don't know how she doesn't realise it, let alone realise I'm not straight or cis. Maybe she does realise you're not straight or cis, just she doesn't want to admit it. Do you know what I mean? She actually cut my hair really short for me. Yeah. Oh, you like your hair cut short, I'm guessing. Um, so yeah. Like, I don't like my hair short. My mum used to keep my hair short when I was young, and I used to look more like a tomboy, I think. But I don't like that because I want to look like a girl. I like looking like a girl. I like having guy traits, but I like looking like a girl. I like, well, you know, I like my beautiful hair. I love my hair long. I cut it recently though, this bit here, so it feathers out more because it's getting untidy. So it's a now different shape. And since I cut my hair, 2 of my friends on Facebook cut theirs as well. She has been more open about expressing her hate, for LGBT plus. So maybe she suspects, I don't know. Maybe you should turn around and say to her, so what if I ended up being LGBT plus? How would you feel about that? Ask her the question, see how she responds. Because it's not saying you are. It's saying, so what if I appreciate your point of view, mums, but what if I ended up being in that category, you know, because I'm still growing, aren't I? So what if I end up going in that category? Do you know what I mean? So she might suspect it, but it's not nice if, you know, I don't think there's any need for anyone to have, she'd shun me. I know her enough. Yeah, I think you said before. Well, once you get your own place and you move out, you won't have to worry about all this stuff, will you? Do you know what I mean? It's a shame. It's a shame that, you know, I've got lovely parents in that way. They're absolutely lovely. They accept my asexuality. Even though they get fed up of me talking about asexuality sometimes. My dad does actually watch Maternal. Hello, Dad, if you're watching right now. Yeah, he watches me talk about not liking sex and my sexual past. It's a bit weird. my dad watches me. Oh my god. When I move out, I have a party. Oh bless you. Yeah, I can sense that you'd love the freedom. I think, you know, my parents are very good about my asexuality overall. They're very accepting. But I've always had like there was 2 gay guys who used to live around the corner from my parents when I was small. So I've always grown up knowing that it's okay. I remember having my conversation with my mum going, oh, like about these guys, like, but they're 2 guys, and my mum was like, yeah, and I'm like, so are they a couple? And she's like, yeah. I'm so like, how does that work? And she's like, oh, well, 2 guys can be together in a relationship. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I think that was about the conversation I had with her about it. Do you know what I mean? So I've always grown up knowing that since a kid. So I think I was very fortunate in that way. That my parents are quite open-minded about that. They're just accepting over all of that type of thing. And that people are different, you know. I know I have gay friends and lesbian friends. So I still get to have some pride in coming out to someone in a way I really want to. Extravagant drag diva. Oh, bless you. Drag diva. That sounds cool. Yeah. I think it's I don't see why anyone would be against anyone LGBT plus, because at the end of the day everyone's different. Why can't just people accept that everyone's different? You know, what's difficult for me is my best friend's non-binary, and sometimes I get their pronouns. I forget their pronouns because when I first met them, I knew them as a he, and I sometimes slip into he, and I know that it really irritates them and upsets them sometimes, and I'm like, I don't mean to do it. I'm really sorry. And I try and remember their pronouns, they and them, but I do slip back to he. My brain kind of like just doesn't have it a lot of the time, and I feel like bad that I say that when I don't mean to. If you're watching, I'm sorry. My boyfriend has, under my request, kept my orientation secret from his family so I can come out to them and then have a coming out party. Oh, that's nice. That's very sweet of him. Oh, bless. I know you said that his family are very accepting, didn't you? You know? Very accepting. It's good. I don't understand why more people aren't accepting. I don't understand why people don't just accept people that have different preferences. I dress masculine, I act masculine, but I also act feminine. Hardly dress feminine, though, mostly masculine and androgynous. I dress masculine, I act masculine, but I also act feminine. Hardly dress feminine, though. Ah, right, okay. Yeah. It's good, though, to be who you want to be and who you are. Like, I have some masculine traits, but clearly I'm very female in my looks. So I don't wish to look like a guy, but I like having some guy traits that helps me in my life. And I like having big muscles. I got really big muscles for a girl. I just kick it's like I can barely even get my look. My pajama, like I've got really big muscles. It's like you can see my top. It's like, oh my god, like muscles, muscles, muscles. Like they're quite big arms for a girl. Do you know what I mean? Because I have to do exercises for my fibro. So like exercise can make fibro worse, but I have to do some to keep my back. So I have to do a few press ups to like keep my back from hurting. And when I do that, it makes my arms bigger. And I used to do weightlifting when I was 17 to 19 years in birth certificate age. I used to do weightlifting, a lot of weightlifting. So I like having, even though I don't like a muscly guy, I like having muscles on my arm, but I don't need them anywhere else. My life. I recently wore my only and favourite dress for a senior photo shoot. Oh, congratulations. And realised that the only dress I ever loved, I now hated wearing. Oh, sorry. And realised I don't like wearing any dress or skirt, but I do love fashion. Oh, right, sorry. I said, oh, congratulations. And I said, oh, sorry, because I didn't read all once. Sorry. I see what you mean. Like, I didn't used to wear, I used to always be in trousers nearly all the time, and I didn't used to hardly ever wear dresses or skirts, but now I wear skirts quite a bit. Like, if I'm going out in summer weather, I wear skirts usually all the time. When I'm out clubbing, I wear a dress, or predominantly, I usually always wear skirts. Because one dress I really loved, I decided to like break a bit, so now I've got skirts and tops. So I usually wear skirts and tops. Clingy skirts, shorter skirts, because I'm short. It looks so cute. My mum's like, that skirt's a bit short on you, Sandra. And I'm like, I'm not, I'm young and I'm short. It looks absolutely ridiculous for me to have a long skirt when I've got a short body. It just looks I'm only 5'4.5". I said that to my best friend and he's like, what? I said he instead of they. See what I mean? We just got their pronouns wrong again. I'm really sorry. They they said they didn't believe that I was like only 5'4.5", and I'm like, yeah, I'm only 5'4.5". Oh man, I can't believe I got the pronouns wrong again. I feel so bad. Like I just having a conversation, so I didn't want to do that, and I just did it. What I didn't want to do. Yes, because they didn't believe that I was like only 5'4.5", and I'm like, yeah, I'm really short. When I'm in clubbing, quite a lot of the guys are much taller than me. I club with myself and like dance with myself in front of this big mirror on the wall. These guys are behind me, being a lot taller usually. So instead of a regular suit or a dress, if I get married, I plan to have a dress that has a high rise in the front that exposes my suit pants, and it will be sparkly. I call it a fairy suit. Oh wow, that sounds awesome. That sounds really, really lovely. That sounds beautiful in my life. I really like that. I think that'll look really good with being androgynous as well. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of capturing the feminine and masculine in one, isn't it? It's really, really good. Really, really good. That sounds beautiful. Really love it. I love sparkly things as well. I'm a really sparkly girl. I love sparkly things. Really, really nice. I have a bow tie too. That sounds awesome. So I've got a trans friend, a trans guy friend, who was born female and still female in body, but is a trans guy, and they married their bisexual boyfriend, and have a kid. And they were allowed to dress in a suit. Now they're from the Philippines and he's Korean, and that was very different for their culture. Like the two cultures are very different. Talking about multicultural stuff, like, which is the title of this video, about their cultures don't usually go together traditionally, historically, with things that happen between the countries. And because they're still female in body as well, and with their country rules and everything, they didn't know if they were going to be able to get married in a suit, but they were allowed to get married in a suit, which absolutely made their wedding. Because, like I said, they're a trans guy; they just haven't had the surgery. So they were really happy that they could both be in suits. Their bisexual boyfriend and them as a trans guy, but obviously still got the female body. So yeah, so I was really pleased for them. That was like their dream come true, because in their culture, in their country, they don't usually allow that type of thing. So I thought it was beautiful, really, really nice. I have a bow tie too. I have a top secret plan. Oh wow, sounds amazing. My life. I really love the fairy suit idea. I don't know if it's actually like out there already, but I definitely think you could be like a fashion model for that type of thing, and like get in some magazines and do that line of fashion. If fairy suits aren't an actual thing, they should be a thing for, that you should do a line of fashion for androgynous people. Like my best friend, they are attracted to androgynous people. So yeah, I think it's really, really important, to have that. I think it'd be great if you did a whole fashion line. I think it'd be amazing. But I really love that idea. I really love the masculine and feminine mix. I've actually worn a wedding dress. I don't want to get married, but I've actually worn a wedding dress. I was a bride in a carnival, but I wore a black wedding dress with white rosebuds. Black wedding dress. I looked really good in it. Really good. And then there was two brides that were both wearing white either side of me. I know my boyfriend will never see this, so I can say this, since we both wanted prom, is that right? And missed out because COVID. I plan to host a prom for me, him, and some friends when quarantine is over. Oh, that's beautiful, my life. Oh, that's really sweet. And it'll be where we'll have our first kiss, because he planned to do it at graduation, but can't because of quarantine. Oh, right, you haven't had your first kiss yet. Oh my. You've both waited a long time. Wow, you're very traditional in that way, I think. Not like me, who just kisses some random guy I don't even know. Oh my lord, my mum like shudders when I say that. She's like, but you kiss them. I mean, I think she's got used to me kissing guys in clubs now. But once I kissed a guy who I didn't know until I met in the street, and she's like, what are you doing? Disgusting girl, basically. I'm like, yes. Oh dear, what can I say? I'm a bit naughty occasionally. We've kissed on the cheek, but not on the lips. So I decided it'll be extra special moment. That is amazing, my life. Kiss on the cheeks, but not on the, oh my god. I just couldn't have held on that long. I need kissing like I need water nearly. It's like oh my lord. That is really, really good. I'm really pleased for you. I'm already planning for a quarantine-friendly date for our first year anniversary in August. Oh yeah! Oh yeah, soon! Congratulations. My best female friend, who's not asexual, who's with her guy, they have been together a year in August. She moved in with him quite quickly, so it'll be mostly secret though. Wow. I'll have to get his parents in on it. Oh, this is going to be amazing. Happy anniversary for them. I think it's wonderful. I always love it when I see couples that really work out together, because, like some people are like, oh, if you haven't got a relationship, like some people get jealous of other people's relationship. I don't. I think it gives me hope. And I think it shows what can be done and what can be achieved. And I love love. And I'm just so happy that two people love each other so much. I think it's good that you've waited. I think that's very traditional. It's very good. Not like me, it just dives. Oh man, we're all different. What can I say? What can I say? But yeah, I think it's really good. That's very kind of like traditional courting. My parents would be very pleased with you. I have to say, not pleased with me, not pleased with you. Oh, dear me. Oh, bless. I love my parents a bit. I can't see my mum. Oh, she's on isolation for a very long time. But I love my mum to bits. And my dad, an angel, and that. It's kind of hard sometimes. So yeah, they're cool. He misses the country, especially the field. So I plan for a 6 foot a, apart, 6 foot a 6 foot apart picnic near dusk and into the night to also stargaze in a field in Sculleryville, a country area in Saratoga. Is that how you pronounce it? A 6 foot apart picnic. Is that for the isolation? So you're gonna have a picnic, but you're both gonna be 6 foot apart. Is that right? That's really sweet. Yeah, because some people can meet up as long as they keep social distance. Can't they? So like in the UK, it's 2 meters apart. So you're not supposed to meet up with people outside your household. But when you're going out to a park or whatever, there's people all around you don't even know that aren't from your household. But you're still maintaining 2 meters social distance. So I guess some people are going to meet up who are couples, but just keep the 2 meters distance or friends, I'm guessing. Yeah, Saratoga, spelt right. Other thing wasn't. Ah, okay. Yeah, I don't know if I've pronounced it correctly. Oh, this sounds wonderful, my life. It sounds lovely and amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. I got the ideas from a lesbian's post of hers and her girlfriend having a 6 foot apart picnic. That's pretty good. Yeah, I know there's some dating advice on dating traditional dating channels rather than this. It's an asexual dating channel, and I think they say you can social distance, like, you can sit different ends of the bench if you've got a really long bench or different places, and you can meet up, like, but not actually touching each other. And that can be quite, obviously, they were relating it to sexual attraction, saying, oh, you build the sexual attraction and sexual tension because you're meeting someone who's like keeping their distance from you. You can't touch them, but yeah, you really want to. So that's how you can create this magnetic sexual attraction, I'm guessing. I let her know she inspired me and gave me a smiley face. Oh, that's nice. That's really sweet. Yeah, it's important that we do get inspired and think about things we can do. Like, it's really important. It's good to have plans for the future. It's good to keep going for your goals, ambitions, and dreams. It's good to keep plans in mind. It's very good. I'm very proud of you. I'm very pleased with what you're doing because you're not letting the big situation like cloud everything for you. You're staying focused on what you're going to do with your boyfriend in the future, and in the near future you're planning, which is what most people should be doing. They should be taking tips from you. In situations like this, you can't control the outer world, unfortunately. We can only control our inner world and our immediate situation in ourselves and our own lives. And so what my life is doing is focusing on her boyfriend, what they go by they, don't you? What they can do with their boyfriend. They can do with their boyfriend, despite the social distancing, what they're going to do with their boyfriend in the future, like making plans to live together and all this, getting married, So all this is really good, positive stuff. We should be focusing on the future. We're trying to plan for a bonfire this summer, and I'd have my first what? S'more? What's a s'more? I go by they, them, and he, him. All right, so you do go by he. They, them, or he, him. Right, okay. So either they or masculine. Right, okay. That's great. I need to remember that. Thank you. I try and remember. I'm not always good at remembering these things, but I try. My friend did get a badge, wore it, and then last time I cocked up and said the wrong word, and they're like, I haven't got my badge, I can't find it. I know, they must get really annoyed with me not being able to say their pronouns, but my brain just doesn't, a lot of the time it doesn't, it doesn't activate like that. Sometimes it does, so sometimes just calls everyone they, them. S'more is a marshmallows and chocolate graham sandwich, basically. Oh, wow. I've never heard of that before in my life. That's incredible. That's really incredible. I'm just pouring some water because I need to drink water because I'm pretty much out of water. That's really, really, really awesome. Marshmallows and chocolate. I can't eat it, but it sounds awesome. So I have to try and remember they, them, or he, him. That sounds really, really awesome. My life, really, really awesome. Really, really awesome. I'm so pleased for you. I'm so pleased that you're being positive, that you're looking to the future, that you're planning ahead with things that you're planning for your boyfriend on your own to do for them, and also things you're planning with them for the future. I'm glad your mum is more accepting of your boyfriend's family, even though they are still skeptical. I'm glad that they are having some interaction there. I think it's important for the future. And I just think whatever you're doing is really awesome, you know? I think it's brilliant. I think, you know, even though you're both very different, like in some ways your background's very different. In some ways they're the backgrounds that's ideal, because obviously with him being in the countryside originally, then you love the countryside. That works out really, really well, you know? Really well. I mean, I meet some guys in the city that want to move to the countryside or ideally live in the countryside, and I would feel bad them coming to live with me in the city if they really want to be in the country, because I'd be like taking them away from something they really adore and want to be in, and I don't want that environment, you know. So I feel like you know, I'd rather be with a guy who likes city life, really. I cook and he bakes. Oh, wow, that's incredible. I don't like cooking at all. I cook because I have to, not because I want to or enjoy it. I do love food though. I like eating, I just don't like the cooking. I do love food. I love rice noodles particularly, which I'm thinking about eating rice noodles now, even though it's like 4 a.m. in the morning. And he made me the jello he gave me. That is so beautiful. I have to say, if a guy does cook for me, wow, he's really attractive to me even more, because obviously I don't like cooking. I just don't like doing it. If he makes me something, a food that I can have, it's incredible. I felt sorry for one of my friends because they bought me some stuff for my birthday. They bought me the unicorn slippers, which are incredible. But they also bought me some things like they bought these biscuits which were gluten free, and they were like wheat free and stuff like that. But they were still had sugar in them, and I can't eat them. And they went out of their way to get me biscuits they thought I could eat, and I'm like, yeah, but I can't have sugar. And they got me jam, and I can't have sugar, so I can't eat it. It tasted better. Sorry, I need to read that back again. He made me the jello he gave me. He knew I loved jello and insisted to his parents that he made it instead of buying it, and it tasted better. Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, typo, yeah. Oh, wow. That's really lovely. When someone actually goes out their way to do something handmade like that's incredible. Wanted to make it. Oh, he knew I loved jello and insisted to his parents that he wanted to make it instead of buying it. I got you. And it tasted better because he made it. I think it's incredible. My dad makes my mum cards, like for birthdays, anniversaries, and Christmas. He makes his own cards. He made me one as well. She's up there with Angel on it, actually. So, Angel's my guinea pig, in case you didn't know. And so yeah, I think that's really nice when someone goes out their way to make something that's handmade. It's just really lovely. It adds a really personal touch, you know, and it's just like beautiful. It's like someone's gone out of the way to actually do that for you. You know, if a guy does cook for me, although I don't like, and if he cleans up after himself as well, but if he cooks for me, he just leaves mess all over my kitchen. It's like, well, I'm just stressed out now. The food might have been nice, but I'm stressed because there's all this stuff I don't want to be dealing with, all this cleaning that I don't do with my own food. So that's not very good. If he's cooking for me, then clean up after himself. I don't have anything but to enjoy the food, then I'm happy. But if he comes in and starts deciding, I want to use all these pots and pans and everything else, it's like, well, you just like wrecked my kitchen. Like, You spent hours in the kitchen. You might have made me food, which is nice, but at the end of the day, I'd rather just cook rubbish. I'd rather just cook like food that may be bland and like, but I can just bung in the oven, chuck the tin foil thing or whatever away in the bin, use a paper plate, and I don't have any washing up much to do. Do you know what I mean? Some cutlery. Otherwise, it's just like, well, you've kindly cooked me food, but then you've just like mucked my kitchen up, which will take me about 3 hours to sort out. Whereas if you hadn't cooked for me, I would have like 10 minutes of washing up to do, not 3 hours. And it just stresses me out and wastes my life away. So it's just like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather he didn't do it if that was the case. So my life, and he made me a blue flower decor thing to hang out. And he made me a blue flower decor thing to hang out. It's adorable. His snickerdoodle cookies are amazing. Oh my goodness, they're Snickers, are they? Oh. Wow. Gosh, you got a boyfriend that actually loves to cook. That's incredible. And make you things. Blue flower decor thing hang out. I got a taste of his baking when school was a thing. He gave me a snickerdoodle. They were only for a class he had, but gave me one anyways, and it was delicious. Oh man, I expect it was to eat Snickers. Sometimes my mum buys me these naked bars, which are peanut naked bars, and they taste like Snickers bars because I can't have Snickers bars now. And they're lush, really, really lovely. My favourite cookies are snickerdoodles and sugar cookies. Chocolate chip comes third with peanut butter cookies. Oh man, I want to go eat cookies now. I can't eat cookies. But oh man, chocolate and cookies. Wow. I really want chocolate and cookies now. I want some food. I have got a health bar actually, which I'll probably end up eating soon. And that's like a cocoa one. So it tastes like chocolate because it's got cocoa powder in it. Yes. And it's got nuts and dates in it. Oh, it's lush. It's my favourite health bar that I can eat because it's got no sugar in or wheat or gluten or spelt or yeast or dairy or lactose or grapes. Way. Oh wow, my life. Your boyfriend sounds like a dream boyfriend in this way. That's really, really nice. I'm so glad he's good to you. I'm so glad he actually wants to make things for you and make you happy. That's really, really important. Guess what? I bought him for his birthday graduation gift. Same month. Oh, wow. I don't know. What did you buy him? I can't work it out. I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued. What did you buy him? What did you buy him? Can I possibly think? I don't know. What did you buy him? Something to do with an accessory, to do with clothing or something to do with. I don't know. Did you buy him some flowers? I used to buy flowers for my ex. I don't think they were very appreciated. Bloke. I only am interested in blokes because I think it's different. I think if a girl buys a guy flowers, it's nice and different. So I used to buy my ex flowers, but he didn't even used to basically take care of them. My life, a bag of milk chocolate indoor truffles. Lindor truffle. Oh, Lindor's nice. I managed years ago to find some sugar-free Lindor chocolates, and I have never seen them since. They're in a pound store, and then they just stopped doing them. Now they've got all different flavors locally, but not the sugar-free ones. It's like, why can't you have the sugar-free ones again? Oh, Lindor truffles. Lindor are one of the most beautiful, beautiful chocolate makes you can get. I think Lindor's the same one I'm thinking of. Lush. That's really nice, my life. Really, really nice. Really lovely. Oh, wow. I think I'm going to have to go soon because I've been Skyping. I've been live streaming for nearly 3 hours. But I'm really interested in your story. I also got him a third hammer badge. Fave hero. A mini dragon cup for staff. Oh, that sounds awesome. And a Star Wars card that I plan to put something in because it's one of those cards. Oh, wow. Oh, so your boyfriend likes Star Wars. That's awesome. My best friend likes Star Trek. Star Wars is awesome. Thor. Oh, Thor. Oh, you got him a Thor hammer, not a third hammer, because that was third was a typo. Oh, Thor. I've got the Thor. I got a Thor Ragnarok. And I've got I've got Thor Ragnarok as in the movie. I like Thor. And I've got Avengers movies with Thor in them. I love Thor. Thor is awesome. My favourite character superhero is still Iron Man. Unfortunately, he doesn't exist currently. I hope they bring him back. Bring back Iron Man, please. I love Iron Man. Thor is attractive. Yeah, I prefer Iron Man. I mean, I don't usually get attracted to older guys, but I am attracted to Robert Downey Jr. in Iron Man. I have no idea why. Well, that's not totally true. I think it's because he does look foreign. He has got like the foreign look about him, short dark hair. He's got like a foreign look. He's got great personality and good looks. Oh, Thor. He's quite funny, isn't he? Yeah, I look up to Iron Man. Oh, I've got an Iron Man alarm clock. I love Iron Man. I've got all Iron Man 1, 2, and 3, but Endgame, because he was killed off in Endgame. Sorry if you didn't already know that and you've just tuned in. On my birthday, well, it went over to the next day where he was actually killed. I was so upset, and I'm like, why? How can you do that? I'm really hoping and praying that some way down the line they write him back into the story, that they go back in time and somehow and they get him back, because I love Iron Man and he's the greatest icon personally for me of all the superheroes, and I really want him back. As soon as they bring Iron Man back, the better. I hope the lockdown makes them think, where is Iron Man? We need another Iron Man film. Quickly bring him back. I see myself as Spider-Man, but also have a crush on Spider-Man. So I also see myself as Venom and Deadpool. I like Spider-Man as well. So does my friend Sam. Spider-Man, the guy who plays Spider-Man now, is very, very cute. Very, very cute. I agree. And he's very much like his character as well. And I have Spider-Man Homecoming on DVD and Spider-Man Far From Home. I have both those movies. Superman is attractive too. Yeah. I have to agree with you, Superman, but he's a bit old for me. But yes, Superman is attractive. But I don't think I could kiss Superman. Like Spider-Man, the guy who plays Spider-Man, is very cute. And Robert Downey Jr., he's a bit old, so I don't know if I could actually kiss him. Because I can only usually kiss younger foreign guys. But I like the guy in Life of Pi. He's beautiful. And I love the guy in Aladdin. Oh my god. Mina. He is so damn good looking. Very hot looking. Aesthetically. The guy who plays Aladdin, Mina Masood. Oh man, he's just really drop dead gorgeous. He's, in terms of looks, he's my ideal look. Like, he's not actually Indian either. He's Egyptian. He's so beautiful. Yes. Yes. I like the Iron Man. I like robots. I've got a fascination with robots as well. I absolutely love robots. I don't want to be a robot. I don't want to implant in my brain. I don't want any robotic parts on me. But I like robots in and of themselves. Like, they fascinate me. However, I've thought about getting a robotic boyfriend in the future, but I think he might malfunction. Probably knowing my luck, he'd malfunction and then decide he's sexually attracted to things. Oh my god! Can robots be sexually attracted? Who knows? Well, people are attracted to objects sexually, so I don't see why a robot couldn't be sexually attracted to a person. Mum thinks I'm crazy for loving the Phantom of the Opera from the Phantom of the Opera instead of the blonde guy who turned out to be a complete jerk, but then turned to being good after his love died. I've got Phantom of the Opera. I've got it on disc. I've got a modern day version of it. I think it is. I've actually got the DVD. I watched it a while ago, and he isn't a jerk. in the film I've got, it was in the sequel, but that's only opera, not a movie. Oh yeah, I've actually, because I've seen Phantom of the Opera actually on theatre twice. It's really good. I fancy people with struggles. Yeah, I understand that. Sometimes they're not always good people though, because I usually go for people with struggles. Sometimes they are, but sometimes they're not. Depends of that. If they've had struggles and they've overcome them, and they're a good-hearted person, still, then it's good. But if they've got struggles and they're not, some of them they're not good. Yeah, your heart's big. I understand that. I've got a big heart, but I have to understand that some guys' problems are not my problems. Like I've got with the wrong guys in the past because I've taken on their problems and tried to fix them. But at the end of the day, you can't change a person. It's only if they want to change themselves. But yeah, on the movie, I've got the movie. The guy who's a blonde guy isn't a jerk, but she's not as attracted to him, obviously, because she's more interested in the Phantom because he's like mysterious, isn't he? But he really loves her, the blonde guy, but she's like quite the attraction for the Phantoms more, isn't it? Really. I would have loved to stay with the Phantom. Yeah, I mean, the whole point of that story is that the whole point of that story is that he was going to be controlling over her, wasn't he? And keep her caged up like an animal. The Phantom, that's supposed to be the fact that she can't have that type of relationship because it's not healthy. Even though she did love him, really. My Life 23, La La Land was good, but sucked at the end. I haven't seen La La Land. It was free to watch a few weeks ago in the UK, but I didn't see it because they did this special cinema thing to sponsor cinema, and there's 4 films for free, and I didn't realise. I only checked my emails and saw the last one was advertised. I didn't want to watch that because it was very violent. So, but La La Land would have been the first movie I could have seen it for free. And so, but I don't know what it was like. It doesn't look as impressive as some films. So I'm glad you said it sucked at the end because I'm glad I didn't miss it now. Do you know what I mean? Because I thought it looked good, but I didn't think I heard some stuff that it wasn't so good. And I like really upbeat dance movies, high octane energy, and La La Land looked a bit older type of style dancing and music. But I don't know because I haven't watched it. So, but yeah, it's very, very interesting. No, it's good. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I just didn't want. I would have loved to have seen it for free, but I missed it. It was on the 2nd of May in the UK only because it was a special online thing on YouTube that we're live streaming it just for one Saturday. So yeah, I would have liked to have seen that. But I hate the ending because permission to spoil it. You can spoil it because I haven't watched it. It's fine. I don't know if I'll ever see it. Yeah, you can have permission to spoil it. Tell me what you didn't like about the ending. I like to know before I close the stream soon. But I'd like to know before I go because I'm interested. It's been lovely to chat to you. We've had a good chat. They decide to follow their careers instead of staying together. Oh man, I wouldn't like that. Yes, I can tell why you so I hated it. Yeah. They decide to follow their careers instead of staying together. Well, I guess the ending was non-traditional. Wasn't what you expected, but yeah, I can guess you would have hated it. Because at the end of the day, it's like, why can't they have their careers and stay together? But some people don't. They put their careers first. Everything else was perfect. Well, yes, I would be disappointed with that too, my life. I'd be like, come on, I want you to get together and stay together forever. I guess it's not real life always, but that just sucks. I agree with you. I haven't seen the film, but it definitely would suck. Definitely would suck. It would definitely suck. That's why fan fiction exists. Oh, bless you. Yeah, but I want things to work out in real life. I like happy ever afters. Happy ever afters can work out because obviously my parents have been married for 51 years, 51 years. They're still happy being married. They still love each other. My dad bought my mum a dozen red roses for their anniversary recently. 51 years later, still going strong. See? So some people do find their soulmates and they do live pretty much happily ever after, you know? And one of my friends asexual friends married their asexual girlfriend last year. They're happily married. He's never been happier than he is with her. And one of my other asexual friends is engaged to his younger fiance, and he's never been happier. I can see sad love movies. I don't tend to watch love movies. I watch movies that have got a love story in them, but that's not actually what they are. I've got 2 love movies in my hallway, but I haven't watched them for years because they're too sad for me a lot of the time. And I like watching dance movies, but they've got love story in them. I think they did it to teach people that, hey, what's more important, a job or love? When people think job's more important. Well, at the end of the day, you can't pay your bills with love, unfortunately. Not unless one loves the other so much they want to pay all their bills for them, the other one doesn't need to work. I did actually have a relationship where at one point I was paying more of the bills. The characters didn't feel whole in the end. Oh, my life. This is sad. This sounds so sad. Oh man, that sounds so sad. Bless them. It sounds really sad. I'm glad I haven't seen it now because I'll probably be like, oh my god, that's so. If I ever see it, at least I'll know what the ending is, so I'm not disappointed. I'll be like, oh yeah, I know what happens, but it must be really sad. It's like we want joyous films now. That's why I've gone back to watching dance movies, which are high octane energy with good endings. Because at the end of the day, I need something to boost me up and to make me feel pumped and happy and joyous. Woo 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 woo. Want to hear a happy love movie? Yes, give me a happy love movie. I do have quite a few of them, but only in terms of dancing happy love movies. But yes, tell me a happy love movie. I'm gonna have to go to the toilet in a minute. I've been like literally streaming for 3 hours. And I either go to the toilet and interrupt my stream, or I stop the stream. Letters to Juliet and 100-Foot Journey. Oh, I haven't heard of either of them, but that's probably because I don't actually usually watch love movies. I'm really romantic and love, but I actually don't watch love stories very often. I watch movies that have like all the dance movies have always got love stories in them, always, and kissing. I love kissing. I've usually always got kissing in them at the end, usually, where the couples get together and they snog on the dance floor. I'm like, yes, finally, we have the best part of the movie. They're snogging on the dance floor. Which probably wouldn't be most people's favourite part of the movie. But for me, it's one of the highlights of the whole movie is the snogging on the dance floor after the dancing, or as well as the dancing. Oh, wow. That sounds awesome. Well, I'm glad there are some happy love movies. It's good. It's good. 100-Foot Journey starts as a cooking movie, but 4 characters start falling for each other. That sounds a very interwoven thing. Very interesting. Very interesting. I need to go because I've got to go to the toilet, and I either stop my stream or I go to the toilet and interrupt it, and you'll have like. So what would you like to do in my life? Do you want to end the stream, or do you want me to run out in the middle of my stream to the toilet? I have to go because I get ill if I don't go. I was like, I've been holding it for ages, like 3 hours. With my fibro, I usually have to go to the toilet every hour. Whenever I do a 2-hour stream, it's pushing it. I've been streaming for 3 hours now without going to the toilet, and I really, really need the loo. This is hurting me. So, what would you like to do? Do you want me to? You wouldn't mind either. Wouldn't it be quite funny if you just like watch Eat All for like a few minutes while I go to the toilet? I really have to go to the toilet, but if you want to carry on the conversation, I don't mind. It's quite interesting. Well, I have to leave you with Eeyore if I do and go out in the middle of my street. Look, Eeyore's actually on my nightshirt. You can't see Eeyore from there. Have a look at Eeyore there. I'm going to the toilet because I have to go because I'll get ill if I don't go. I'm back. Oh my god. That's so funny. Oh dear me. Ah. I was going to tell you about letters to Juliet. I have patience. I'm back now. I've got chocolate. This is the chocolate thing I was talking about. I need food because I get low blood sugar. I'm supposed to eat every 2 hours. I'm starting to feel dizzy as well. Letters to Juliet is about a girl in a relationship with a self-absorbed fiance. They go on vacation and he's basically married to food and his job. And she goes off to explore and eventually helps a woman search for her long-lost love and slowly starts to fall for her son. Oh, that's really interesting. Anyone wants to get food, get food. Have a food party. That's really interesting. I'm covering my mouth so it's not horrible while I'm eating. That's really interesting. He's married to food. I am eating food. It's funny. Wow. So what happens in the end? Does the self-absorbed fiance change, or does she marry the son, or what, or go off with the son? I want to know what happens there. Oh, I've got to find out. Well, I don't have Netflix or anything like that, so I don't know. And I don't watch TV either. So unless I know what the film about, I don't usually get it unless it's a series that I haven't watched the other one in. When did it come out? What year was it out? Do you know? Oh, it sounds very interesting. We don't know. I'm sure I can look it up. Have you seen Romeo and Juliet? The cartoon. Romeo and Juliet's really good. It's funny. I've got that on disc over there. Trying not to talk with my mouth full and let people see. Yeah, I've got it over there. It's really funny. I actually saw the second one as well at Kids Club at cinema. Second Romeo and Juliet. I think I thought the second one was better than the first one. Oh, it was in Letters to Juliet was in 2010. 10 years ago. Wow. Time flies. That's a long time. I'm enjoying eating food. These are lush. Will YouTube let you put a trailer link in there? Sometimes YouTube filters it out, but I'm sure I can find it on here. I'm sure I can find it on my iPad. Let me have a look. I'll look it up. Letters to Juliet. It's Bible to. I don't buy movies to watch on YouTube. And I don't usually go for love stories either. Oh, it's by her. It's in Mamma Mia, isn't it? Yeah, she's in Mamma Mia. That girl. She's a good actress. Yeah, I don't usually buy Netflix or YouTube movies or anything. Yeah, I'm very picky about what I buy. I don't usually it wouldn't be one I would usually buy. I don't have Amazon Prime either or Netflix because I don't subscribe to anything like that. I've got Mamma Mia though. I like Mamma Mia. It's a good film. There might be one for free on YouTube. Oh, what? One version of it. Yeah, I managed to see Street Dancer 3D. Sometimes usually some people post movies. They do, because I managed to see Street Dancer 3D, which is the Indian versus Pakistani dance film. I managed to see that free on YouTube, but the morning when I woke up I watched it in the middle of the night. I think it was like 4 a.m. And when I woke up, when I'd slept, it was removed from YouTube because obviously it was copyright infringement, so they removed it. Oh, I don't like Deadpool. I saw Deadpool 2 for free on YouTube by looking at it. I saw a lot of movies free on YouTube. Yeah. I didn't like the first Deadpool. I hated the nakedness in it, and I thought the language was too much for me and that it was too grotesque, it was too bloody. So I don't like Deadpool. So I never watched the second one on purpose. Right, I do usually like superhero movies, but I drew the line at Deadpool. I'm like, no, I don't like that. I absolutely hate nakedness. But yeah, you are right. I might be able to find it on YouTube. But yeah, I love the fact we see Street Dancer 3D, but I think all of them have been banned now by the look of it. So it's really funny that there's a guy I talked about who tried to get into my asexual group. He's not really asexual. So I said he should remove himself from the other asexual groups. He's done that. And actually, he's still talking to me. Like I said, I said at the time, I don't think he's a horrible person. I just think he's very misguided. He was the one who thought asexuality was salvation. Like, by practicing asexuality, you get salvation. I'm like, it's not something you can try out. It's a sexual orientation. But yeah, but he is actually Indian and he seems quite a nice person. But overall, but you know, he was saying to me, oh, post one of your videos each day in the chat bubble. I'm like, no, I've not got time to do that. That's what I mean. Some people from different cultures, they think they like demand you do stuff for them, like especially guys. It's like, no, I don't even do that for my friends. Post a video every day in a message. I'm not even online every day to do stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? It's ridiculous. So I was a bit like, I told him straight. I said, no, I don't even do that for my friends. There's no way you want to watch my videos and subscribe to my channel and watch the videos. Because I said, if you want to learn about asexuality, great. you should subscribe to his channel and watch it and learn stuff. But I'm not going to post a video every day to him. It's ridiculous. If I did that for all my friends, I would have no time left to do anything. I wouldn't even have time to live stream or make any videos. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, pray for rain is a... Oh, I thought you were going to tell me to actually pray for rain then. I was like, why do I need to pray for rain? Is there a drought somewhere? Pray for Rain is a good movie. It has some love element, but it's actually about a woman that tries to expose a drought problem in the countryside by going against the companies. It's based on a real issue going on. I don't think that'd be my cup of tea. Because obviously I'm not into the countryside. And I'm into quite young movies. I'm not really into... It's for free on YouTube movies. Oh, right, okay. There was one with Julia Roberts in it that was more different to what I usually watch. I can't remember what it's called now. Oh, Conspiracy Theory, that's right. Julia Roberts and Mel Gibson, Conspiracy Theory, from years ago. That was based on a true story. If you haven't seen that, see it. I had it on cassette tape years ago. Oh my gosh, I'm too young to remember cassette tape. But I saw Steven Universe. I don't know what that is either. I'm learning all these new words. New titles of movies. I mostly watch Disney, Pixar, superhero movies, or dance movies. But at the moment, I'm trying to mostly just watch dance movies, ones that are good for my mind, ones that haven't got any death in them, usually, or destruction. Excuse me, or rape, or anything like that in them. But some of the dance movies do have a bit of violence in them. So I have to be careful of that. They usually have a scene where one person has got a gang that beats up the other person or something. It's like, that's a bit hard. But I kind of got used to it a bit more. But yeah, so I'm trying to watch films that are mostly keeping my spirits high at the moment. Because some of the films I usually watch at this moment in time aren't very good for my mind because of the situation going on in the world. So I'm kind of like trying to keep my mind on good. So like the best thing for me to do really is watch dance movies over and over again, because the dancing is like making me feel so good. I feel like I've got extra high octane energy. There's an underrated poor CGI movie. Is that Steven Universe is an underrated poor CGI movie. Do you like Lost in Space? Do you remember Lost in Space? Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. With the robot. I like Lost in Space. That's because when you said poor CGI, that's quite an old-fashioned thing with old-fashioned robot. Oh, you love Lost in Space. Oh, yeah, I like Lost in Space. I used to watch it loads as a kid, but I got the movie somewhere of it. And I like the modern day version song as well. Lost in Space song. So, yeah, it's kind of like crazy, but nice in a good way. It's like more dance mix. But yeah, I've been listening to a lot of music lately, a lot of reggaeton, like reggae, but reggaeton, and Latino music, reggaeton and Latino music, like all day for hours. It's really, really good for like energy levels, making you feel so good about yourself, making you feel good about your life, getting lots of work done. I'm really much more productive when I'm listening to music. I get so much more work done, but because I'm doing a video training course at the moment, you can't listen to music while you're doing playing the videos, because you have to listen intently to what they're saying. If you like old movies, you might like Star Kid. Oh, when you said, oh, I like, well, I haven't watched Lost in Space for years because I actually like more modern movies overall, dance movies. But Star Kid, some old movies are okay. I like The Last Starfighter, but again, I haven't watched that for years. Star Kid, I might like Star Kid. But yeah, no, I mostly like things like Disney Pixar films, superhero movies, and dance movies. Some of those dance movies are older. They're like 10 years old. Big question. What is the big question? Have you seen The Truman Show? No. I haven't seen The Truman Show. I tend to watch... Well, at the moment, what have I watched? I've watched Street Dance, which is the UK one, and I recently bought Street Dance 2. Stomp the Yard, Homecoming, which is the second one. I still haven't seen the first one yet. I got 5 Step Up movies, which I keep watching over and over again. So mostly I was like dance movies all the time. So no, I don't have to see. I haven't seen the Truman Show at all. Stranger Than Fiction's a good film, which is an older type of movie. Stranger Than Fiction's very good. Which is where the guy hears the narrator out of the story, and he's the character out of her story. Because I like writing, like the narrator meets their character in the end. That's a very, very interesting story. That's quite of an old film. But yeah, so Stranger Than Fiction is really, really good. I really like Stranger Than Fiction. I was told by several teachers and my mum that it's based on a real thing that happened and they remembered seeing it, but it's not mentioned at all on the internet and few people actually remember the thing it's based on. What, the Truman Show? It's really weird because my best friend Sam said something about what is it? The guy who was enslaved, the guy who's in prison for years. What's his name? Inspirational guy who's now no longer on this planet Earth. A new origin of inspiration was made for it. There was something my friend said about there was someone, and they were supposedly it's either a cover up or B a Mandela effect. Oh yeah, Mandela effect. That's what I was trying to. You read my mind. Yeah, Mandela effect of 2 dimensions crossing over. Yeah. So my friend Sam, who believes in multi dimensions and things, multi universes, they were talking about the Mandela effect, where everyone thought Mandela was dead, but he didn't actually die. But loads of people thought he did and remember it happening. But I never remember that happening. I didn't even know who he was. And then he got out and they just thought he died, but he was still alive, wasn't he? But he'd been captured. So yeah. 2 dimensions crossover. It's really strange. Like, I know from what I've learned that parallel universes, I've experienced multiple times. I know that parallel universes are supposed to be a real thing, but I personally don't want to go into another dimension or another reality. I want to stay in this one because all the other realities are not, all the other things I've experienced like that aren't good for me. They're usually me being in bad situations. So yeah, so my best friend Sam, they believe in parallel universes. And I know from watching Spiritual Channel, particularly, that they basically know about the parallel universes. And my dad and mum have, well, my dad kind of like experiences some things. My life, my very soul itself is non-human. An original body was in between different realms and dimensions anyways. I enjoy traveling to different realms and dimensions, not physically, of course. Yeah, you see, for me personally, I don't have good experiences of anything outside of this physical reality in this world. So I don't actually, for me personally, it's good to hear your experience though, because obviously I can relate to my friend as well. And my dad has some experiences, which I think, I don't want to go into because I think that's a bit personal, but I just, so I don't disbelieve they actually exist, but I don't have a very good, I have a lot of issues with sleep. I can't sleep at normal times usually because I need the light on. So I've had nightmares since being a kid. And I thought they'd gone away for a bit, but but I have really strange experiences and I can't have them. I get to the point where I can't actually go to sleep. I have to force myself to stay awake and stuff. And I don't want to be like that. If I don't, if I'm ever see myself in sort of another situation, I'm always me. I don't change. I'm still me. I'm not another person. I'm not another gender. I'm just me, and I'm usually in a lot of trouble running away from being harmed all the time, and I hate it. So I just don't want to know. I don't want to see anything. I don't want to know any. I mean, obviously, I know I'm aware, like people and things that aren't normal happen, but I don't want that type of life for me. I try and just stay in the light in this life as much as possible, not the darkness in another, because it's just not good for me. I have major issues going on with that. Went to what I found out later. I went to what I later found out was Phoenix, AZ, Arizona, in an open dream I had as a kid. And years later found out my spirit dad lives in Arizona. I realised that was the universe showing me where he was. Wow. Open dreams are the name I give dreams where I can go places. Oh, right, okay. I mean, I'm glad you have a good relationship with that type of thing, that you like going to different realms and dimensions. I think it's great. I personally used to see things when I was a kid. Like I used to dream things. They used to come true. It just used to be a nightmare for me, and I don't want that again in my life. I get to go places in real time, past or future. Wow. Yeah, I personally need I personally just need to stay in this life. I think I've been reincarnated before. You also have visions and I have dreams that are meant to teach me things. It's really good. I just tend to get nightmares. Unless I go to bed usually after 4 a.m., which is why I usually don't sleep till after 4 a.m. But the other day I had something not good happen at 5 a.m. and I'm not gonna go into that. But you know what I mean? I've got major problems with sleeping and that type of well, it's probably not that type of stuff, it's probably different stuff, but, do you know what I mean? I just and with the way the world is at the moment, it's kind of like really I mean, people are having a lot of bad dreams and nightmares at the moment, aren't they? And, for me personally, I need to keep sane in this world. It's hard for me to keep sane in this world when I have things, like if I have dreams, they're always not good. They're nightmares. They're not dreams usually, and they're usually not good things. I'm usually always running away all the time. It's just from danger. It's not good. All my nightmares were actually lessons I had. I continue having nightmares, but new ways of handling them. I also got help finding who I am. That's good. Yeah, I don't wanna know. I mean, I don't wanna know the stuff, the stuff I'm just I don't wanna know. It just really freaks me out, the whole stuff. Not for you, just my experiences for me, not yours for you, my experiences for me. And I have to all the time try and keep to the light, you know? So but I used to wake up screaming with nightmares as a kid. I've had a lot of problems with that. So, yeah, I really need to preserve my own sanity in this world. Um, my dream last night was very interesting. It helped me realize that just because my original body and who I am on the inside is seen as a monster by others, doesn't mean I am one. I don't have to be. What they saw me as, and I also learned how close my bond with my boyfriend is in it. Oh, right. Why do people think you're a monster on the inside? You see, I don't have dreams like that. I have stuff. I have had a good dream though. Like there was one good dream I had a few months ago. quite a few months ago, which is my guinea pig, one that's not with me anymore. She was in my dream and she was eating and she was happy. So that was good because I knew she was okay then. And that was a very traumatic ending she had in this life. So that was a good dream. That was one positive dream I've had in like months. And yeah, she was munching spinach, looking at me with her cute eyes and face, and really happy. And she was in a place where I don't even know where it is. It's like one of these fridges that goes into the corner of a thing with another guinea pig, and she was eating spinach. I'm just like, I'm so glad to see you that you're okay. My soul is a dragon werewolf hybrid. Oh my gosh. My ex was into wolves, which is the only reason why I kind of like that turns me off. But you know, Ray likes wolves as well. There's lots of people that like wolves, but because my ex was into them, it kind of puts me off that type of thing. Only because my ex was into it. He used to wear t-shirts all the time with it and used to look like a wolf and talk about being a wolf. And I just like, in my past life, I was a great being that went evil. Oh my God. In my past life, I was a great being that went evil and took a long time to recover and be good again. But wow, that's interesting. So I don't know my past life, like stuff like that. I don't really want to know it. But unfortunately, my past life haunts me and I still fight my dark side. Uh, that's hard. See, for me, I don't ever think I've been a bad person. I don't see me as being a bad person. I see me as being a good in the past life and good in this one, but I see that didn't live long enough in the past life and that I've got lots of life missions and life purposes I have to complete in this life no matter what. And it's to do with writing books. Like I have to teach people how to write things from books while I'm still alive to do it. It's very, very important. My life purpose is writing. Sometimes I just think, should I not do anything else and just write books all my life? Because that's really my life purpose. And I get sad that I don't write as much as I should. I feel like my soul's dying when I don't write my books. Like I want to get back so much to write my Asexual Guide to Sex book, but there's some other work I have to finish first before getting onto that. It's like I really just want to get on with that. It's the most important thing in my life. You know, that book is going to literally change thousands of lives. Could change the whole course of sexuality as we know it. It's essential I get that book out. If I don't do anything else, I need to get that book out. I'd say how I keep it at bay and keep the light side stronger than the dark, but you'd probably not agree with how I do that. Not if it's hurting yourself, which I think is what you're going to say. No. At the end of the day, people can live how they want to live, can't they? It's not up to me to tell them what to do or to. But I don't. Just because I don't agree with it doesn't mean to say I don't know if I'd agree with it or not. But you know what I mean. But I don't have that. I don't have that. You know. I love this life, and I'm trying to stay. I'm trying to stay sane in this life at the moment. It's hard, and I'm trying to stay light, really light. I need to be around light all the time. It's really weird. I work best in the dark, but I like to sleep in the light. The only solution I found was to center all my hate. Oh my God. The only solution I found was to center all my hate at myself instead and replay the past in my head and how I'm a monster. So I hate that side so much that it fuels me to only live mostly light. Huh? The only solution I found was to center all my hate at myself instead and replay the past in my head and how I'm a monster. So I hate that side so much that it fuels me to only live mostly light. Rarely letting my dark side show, accepting film, books, and art, but occasionally I slip up and get upset at people. Oh, right, okay. I know most people have to go back in their past and reframe it in a different light. So, as in the dark side, which to teach you something. And what did you learn from it? And how was it actually a good thing? Something like that. What happened? Why you became dark in the first place, for example. But yeah, I mean, my fear of hurting others, especially people I love, based on my past and thoughts I've had, makes me want to keep that side at bay and refuse it. Sometimes we have to control our mind, my life, sometimes we have to, we all are in within us, we have a different, even in this dimension life, we all have a voice that talks to us, our own consciousness, and sometimes our subconscious, sorry, and not, so we've got the consciousness that talks now, and we've got the subconscious, and the subconscious can try and jeopardize your life, and it's a critical voice that usually goes on our head, so that when we're trying to get something done, the critical little voice will keep coming up and try and stop us from doing it, because we're fearful of making mistakes and stuff. And so that can stop us a lot. I was really critical on Tuesday this week. I was very critical about myself all day. I couldn't believe it, because I'm usually overall a really positive person these days. I'm usually less self-critical, and I'm usually like really good to myself most of the time. But this Tuesday, honestly, all day I was just saying negative. I didn't even know where it's coming from. I'm like, this is just out of a textbook bad, negative talk you're saying to yourself, Sandra. Where have you got this stuff from? I kind of feel like, because I'm trying not to be negative, some way in my mind, it's held all this negative self-talk that I never usually say to myself. I was saying things I don't usually ever say to myself. I'm like, what's going on? When you do that, when you have that problem, you have to do a pattern interrupt. So you have to do something else to get yourself out of the cycle of thinking, like a loop, which I did. And then I've been really productive since then. My dad was a mean person when he was younger, and ended up learning that it wasn't good. And he became a loving person, but was very protective and did let out his anger, but in moderation. He never showed anger to me because of how he was treated by his dad. He didn't want to become his dad. Yeah, I'm glad that he didn't, show anger towards you. I hope he didn't show it to your mum either. But yeah, it's very difficult, I think, in families, if one member of the family's been treated badly by their previous family, then it's like harder for someone not to become that themselves if they're not careful. But I've had to manage my mind. I find that the hardest thing in life, really, two hardest things, are managing your mind and managing your emotions. They're very difficult, I think. He yelled at mum but never hurt her, and it was rare. Oh, that's good. Yeah. I think in life it's very difficult to manage the mind, and it's very difficult to manage emotions, and especially if you are in different dimensions. Like I don't want to be in another dimension. My life, he was in a lot of pain and used wine to deal with it. He never got drunk. Oh, right, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of people at the moment, they're getting drunk, aren't they? They turn to alcohol to kind of solve the problem, and it's not going to solve the problem. We can't solve the problem in the world. We can only do what we can do within our own life, and manage our own life and mind and emotions the best we can. But it's a good you're aware that you have a dark side, and that you have to deal with that. I don't think it's good to pour your hate towards yourself. I think it's good to forgive yourself for your past, to be honest. But whatever works for you, isn't it? I use pain and isolated anger as my own drug. I mean, sometimes you can use pain and anger to fuel you to do productive things. So sometimes when we're emotionally upset and in pain, we can obviously cry and let it out, which is very healthy. But obviously we can't be like that way forever. And sometimes we can use that as a fuel to push us forward, to be more productive, and to actually, get a shift on with our life, you know? So we can use things that are negative to actually have positive results. I'm not suicidal or wanting to self-harm. I used to, until I got my first friend group, and that was mostly because of bullies. I'm glad that you're not like that anymore. I'm glad. I know some people who are that way inclined, and it's difficult, you know? I think at the moment, even the thought leaders of the world, even the people that have got the strongest minds are finding things difficult at the moment because it's like really challenging times. It's really strange. It's all surreal, isn't it? This type of thing that's going on. It's like being in a movie. It's like, is this really real or is it movie? And there's so many different conspiracy theories to what actually is going on in the world, to why this has happened. There's so many spiritual conspiracy theories. There's so many political conspiracy theories. It's like a lot of the time at the moment, I'm just thinking, I don't know what to believe, so I'm not going to believe much anymore. I'm just going to live my truth right now as I'm seeing it. I became hooked on pain and anger. So I used the pain and anger I felt about myself to control the anger I had towards others. But I don't want you to hate yourself, my life, because that's not a good thing, is it? I get a positive and negative response to it. Yeah, I mean, I think you should forgive yourself for your past, but realize that you need to keep it under control. So rather than aiming all your hate towards yourself, I think you should forgive yourself from the past, know you're a different person now, but also keep yourself in check all the time. Because you do need to manage that side of your, like, I have a side of myself from my past relationships that I have to keep constantly in check. Constantly. Things that behaviors and patterns and mannerisms that weren't good for me and weren't good for me, but were brought out in me, and that I could carry them through to the future and present. And sometimes these things crop up in my head, and I'm like, no, you are not going to get the better of me. You're not gonna win. And I kind of know in my head what to do. And before, I used to resist it. I used to know the right thing to do in my head, and I used to resist myself saying and let my less less I don't know what to say, less nicer mindset shine through. Um I love adrenaline. I have to go to bed. I'll see you tomorrow. Sending you love and hugs. Oh yeah. I'm going to be doing a really lot. I'm Skyping my best friend Sam later today because it's Friday now at 5 a.m. So I'm going to be doing a much early live stream for a very short period of time. So yeah, because I'm Skyping them at 9 p.m. So it'll only be a brief live stream because I need to Skype them. I need to catch up. I haven't seen them for a while. But yeah, thank you so much, my life, for all the talk. It's been really, really interesting. Love you to bits. Thank you so much for sharing all your thoughts and feelings and emotions and the positive and the negative and the good and the bad, and just being you and just being very honest and open. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. I really do. And whoever else is watching, thank you very much. Thanks for being in chat. I know there's some people in chat earlier. Thanks to Eddie, who is in chat earlier. I think Eddie was in chat earlier. Yeah. And thanks to everyone else who was in chat earlier. It's gone right down the list now. So I think Amit was in chat earlier as well. And everyone else might have missed out. So if you haven't already subscribed, please hit the great big subscribe button. Please hit that bell icon to get notified of every time I go live like now, post a new video. I appreciate you being here. I know there's someone who's watched all the way through. Been here with me for like 3 hours and 42 minutes pretty much. So I appreciate it. It's one of the, I think it's the second longest live stream I've ever done. Like my longest one was 3 hours and 50, just over 50 minutes, and this one's 3 hours and 42 minutes and 51 seconds and going. So until next time, embrace your quirky and each other's. Thanks. Subscribe, hit that bell icon to get notified every time I go live like now, post a new video. And I'll see you on the next video live stream. And thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye. Lots of love. Bye.